Welcome back to some more Red Wagon Inn, and we are so excited to see you guys for round 2, campaign 2, episode 2. You're not going to get any more 2 than this, and we're very excited to have you all here. I am glowy, I'm Super Saiyan. You just can't see it because I don't have any hair for this to go up, but for some reason I'm very glowy tonight. Very hyped to have you all here. Very hyped to have all the crew back again. It's so cool to be able to play games with all 5 of you continuously again this time. So very, very excited here. Hope you all are excited for some round 2 goodness. We have a redonkulous amount of art to get through, so I'm going to be rattling them off pretty quickly here. But before I do that, do any of the players have anything that they need to shill before we get started?
I do.
Do it.
Okay, so starting Wednesday, which is tomorrow for pretty much Wednesday Eastern Standard Time, on my personal Instagram account, which is Alex Aparate LUD, there will be a poll in the stories every week, and that poll will have an option to choose that is voted on by everyone watching that will affect how XC operates in the next episode. So we could call them like glitches or whatever the case is. So make sure you go to my Instagram tomorrow and vote on what glitch will affect me next week.
What is the murderhobo.exe file, and how hidden is that?
You will have to find out.
Awesome. Brie?
I have something to plug. My son Max started a TikTok. It is called Max Makes. There's currently one video on there, one TikTok on there, and it probably will just be a mirror of the TikToks that I make for Lud, but with Hot Wheels cars. But if anyone is interested in seeing, there likely won't be like a Max face on there, but it'll be things that he like creates. So if anyone is interested in seeing Max make things, yeah, he has a TikTok.
We're gonna make him the next biggest influencer. Hope you're ready for all of the Gen Z talk.
Yeah.
Oh, also, just since we're plugging Max, Max is gonna show up in one of my videos soon saying like and subscribe, so that's gonna be a lot of fun because he's a little cutie. My goal is to eventually get just an army of kids that just like and subscribe.
I mean, we can layer it. I've got 2 now. Alex has 2. We're working on it.
I know you like just had them
and you
both,
got
but
2 voice actors.
Can you kind of speed up them getting to talk?
Yes.
Time is money here. Awesome. Anybody else have anything before we go through? There's literally 18 pieces of art.
Whew.
This is the most art we've ever had in one single session, and I'm very excited about it. So we're going to blaze through them. Our first one is by Dr. Pepper, or Dr. PE99ER, and it's the man who is stuck in the tree trying to reach out to the apple tree down below, and I absolutely love it. That is not one I ever expected to get art, so I was very excited about that one. We have 2 pieces of art from Glaive Thruster. We have one of Ashrin, which is so cool. I'm already liking the Palpatine vibes from it. And then we have one of Ordell and Emma. Definitely annoying Ordell there, and that's very true to life, so I'm liking that one. We have 2 pieces of art from Jakey. The first one is the I'd like it if you were strange too of Ordell and Winter, if I'm correct, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Ordell and Winter from the last session.
Good recap.
And Ordell taking a look at the little music box that he has there in the rain. Very sad and very solemn. But he's looking thick, though, so got to give him that.
Thick king.
We don't have Robert. We're trying to keep those himbo audience members in coming every single week.
Don't worry. Ordell's got you covered.
Appreciate it. We have some art by our Drooby boy here. He actually made some Emma art with something on Emma's shoulder, which will be a hush hush. But yeah, dude, you killed it on the art, my guy.
Oh, thanks. There we go. It helps if I'm not muted.
It does. We have 2 pieces of art from Local Heretic. The first one is of XC, and it's so good looking. Absolutely nailing all the art this week from everybody. It's so cool. Of XC and of Ashrin, both from Local Heretic, which is so cool. Marina did some art of Winter being happy because she's Wednesday Addams and needs to actually be happy every now and again. and it's very pretty, very cute. And then we have what is the MVP of this week's art, which is Sol Wesson, if I'm saying it correctly, who did art for every single character plus one additional one. So there's art here of Asherin, which is absolutely killing it. Art of Emma. All of these are available if you go check out the Discord. You can go check out each of these individual characters' art pages. We have XC here, which I really like the kind of blue, almost Tron addition to the XC robot. We got Winter about to cast a spell, and we also have Ordell looking rude and thick and just about to... the smirk is neat. But all
rude
those...
and thick.
Rude and thick.
Wait, did I miss Asheron's? Oh no.
You did, but I will put it back up there
It was
because
the very first one.
we have
Oh,
two
wait.
different Asherins from Sol Wesson. One which is awesome, and I love all the kind of black and whiteness to it and the golden eyes. But then the best art that was done by Sol Wesson is the chibi Asherin, when you accidentally said root beer instead of rapier last session.
Yeah.
So cute.
Oh, absolutely awesome. And then there's a few other things that are art that we didn't post up here purely for time's sake because there's a lot of poems that got sent in. Verity sent one, Words Mythologic sent some in. All of them are awesome. Go check them out on the Discord if you want to read them, especially the one about that I think Verity made, if I'm correct, about Ordell's kind of...
I
what's the
recorded
art?
audio of it.
Oh,
Yeah, you
there's-
did.
Yeah, there's an audio file of a reading of it too, so you can read along the poem while listening to Ordell's voice.
you don't even have to read. We try and make it so easy for you here.
Perfection. Hey, you're illiterate. We got you.
We got you.
Me
on
too.
this.
Someone had to say it to me while I recorded it, word by word, actually. So
Oh.
I feel you.
It just goes down and down until we found the reader, the very first one. Patient Zero reading. And we have two
Does that mean that
giveaways
Sol
tonight.
gets an inspo?
Do what's up?
Does that mean that Sol Wesson gets an inspo?
You know what, Sol Wesson? Yeah, I'd say Sol Wesson gets an inspo. You can give somebody an inspo tonight if you want Sol Wesson. Because that was you killed it. You did a lot of work on it this week. I messaged them saying how much work they put in and how awesome it was. We got two giveaways from our boy Alex down here on the Lud side as well. We have two Glyphic blind bags. So one of them is going to come in the first half, another one in the second half, which is some random gemstone dice. Ooh, very pretty. And he's got them right there. Are those going to be the very specific sets you're sending out so we can say they were touched by Alex?
What's really cool is so this came from a box, and every box has a rare in it, and 6 were already cracked, and there was no rare pulled out. So one of these has a very high chance of being a rare.
Is
And I
that-
was gonna say, I'll throw it out there. Me and Alex yesterday, we opened up a whole bunch of them over on my Instagram. So if you want to go watch that, I've got it on my story, and you can watch what we got.
So many good dice yesterday. Oh my god.
They still haven't pulled the
Amazing.
first edition Charizard, so that could be coming.
I need to order a bunch and do that on my live now. Just
Right.
open a bunch of dice.
Oh, yes.
Worth it.
It's the life. Speaking of the life,
Can I
oh, go ahead.
open them and then just there be Pokemon cards inside as well?
You open it and you're like, whoa, this dice-sized hole has a... It's a Charizard!
That's some true
Oh,
heart of the
no,
cards
TikTok.
stuff right there.
Mhm.
Right. Speaking of getting back to it, let's roll off. This is the first roll off to do the recaps of this season. I have a brand new set sent to me by Evet Canny on Instagram, and they are absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to see how they do for me. Let's do a roll.
I'm
for
going to roll the
recap.
slime dice from our boy Dicey Encounters. Let's go.
16 on
Guys.
the blood dice.
Guys,
Brie.
guys.
Did you get a 1?
No. I got
20.
a nat 20 on the only
Hey!
time I've ever prepared something for the recap.
Amazing.
Brie
Wow.
is never prepared, but this time she came ready to go. And
I think we give it to Brie anyway because she's prepared.
yeah, you know, a nat 20.
Yeah,
What
Be
happens on that 20?
prepared.
What'd you get, Jackie?
19.
19.
Oh.
Alex?
I got 17.
Jakey?
I got a 12.
Oh,
I got a
thank God.
14. What's up?
Jeez.
Bree, if you, with your nat 20, if you want to give it, since you're actually prepared, I'll let you. But if not, Jakey, you got this.
I'll do it, but also I'm like, yo, how's come for every roll for recap? It's it's everyone gets suddenly higher rolls. From now on,
bro.
we should do dice cams. I'm okay
No,
to do it
because every
But
time
you
I've
can't-
been like
Emotion,
17, y'all have been like, yeah, I got 19, 19, 19, 19. Huh.
I
True.
How did that happen?
So I have a little bit prepared, and then you can take it from there if you like. If you like, Jake, we can
Sure, we can-
we can
Ooh.
tag
Team
this.
it. Do it.
Okay,
Sure.
all right. Hold on, I'm gonna be serious. I know this doesn't happen very often, but Bree's gonna be serious. Once upon a midday glary, while we wandered, dark and scary, over many a quaint and curious item of forgotten lore. While we spied, their eyes wide and staring, suddenly there came a daring, as of someone tempting, teasing, testing friends at that creepy store. Two lurking visitors stood and whispered, sorting through that creepy store, only junk and nothing more. And from these humble beginnings, 5 friends were bound forevermore.
Ooh. I didn't expect you to actually have like a rhyming thing ready to go.
That's good.
If
That's
Jakey
very
can
good.
take it home, I'll give you the inspo.
I can't tell the rest of the story as great as that. But I'd like to think, imagine this is how we're going to do this. So I don't know if you played Resident Evil 8, but at the beginning there's like a storybook thing that opens and then you go into gameplay. That's the opening cinematic. And then you've got a pan view. So what you see is a large area that is full of metal scraps and debris and things, and there's a large creature there that is going through things. That is Ordell, and behind Ordell is Ashrin and Winter, who both decided they were going to spy, but today they're going to test their luck and get a little closer. And when they got closer, Ordell reacted in a sense of just like, you can be here, but stay back. But through their interaction, eventually there was a piece of metal that was awakened and caused a little bit of weird tension as XC, a Warforged, was brought back to life and was speaking with Ordell and is now following Ordell's commands as a guard of some sort. Afterwards, and in some more things, the ladies decide to root in through some things, grab a set of rings, and one of them of which was magical and activated and awakened a unwilling named Emma, a skeletal genie of sorts. The 5 then kind of stood there in this very like awkward, like tense conversation, but eventually things were dropped as they decided to take the day to work as inside of this dumpster, this graveyard-esque like place, because there are bodies and stuff with metal and taken from them. It was a festival ground and carnival, and so while they were working, eventually they were accosted by some hooded individuals, the first being XC, and then Ordell punched what turned out to be a child, and then this full attack of smoke grenades, tear gas, knocked them all out. When they were unbound, it was revealed to them that Winter and Ashrin had been speaking in a tavern a little too loud and mentioned something along the lines about necromancy and wanting to cross the wall. That being a punishable offense where they were all taken together and sent off the wall with their belongings. From there, they traveled away north initially from the wall, and then I believe northwest. I'm not very good directionally. And they found a ghoul that was stuck into a tree, and through some very clever handiwork, they managed to get the ghoul alive in one piece from the tree and sent him on his way. And then they set up camp and found a woman who was distressed and then put on distress by the party, Emma. And then after discussing, it turns out that there is a band of raiders that have taken over a town-like area, and they have set up shop over a well that people need to drink water, and they have attacked anyone who comes near that, claiming it as their own. So the party has just recently had this conversation about like 3 a.m, and that is where we are. Boom. How is that for a recap? Let's go.
Solid. Congratulations. Well done. You know what? It's episode 2. Why don't we give away 2 inspos tonight? 1 to Brie and 1 to Jakey. So well done to the both of you. No cap on them.
I still have my first one.
Oh, yeah, now you got
You
2.
can add 'em.
There you go.
Mhm.
Since we're adding
Me
on
too.
top.
I have 2 too. It's
And-
the
Hey!
twos.
2 twos.
Shout out to the 2 crew.
2 crew. Anybody else have anything before we get playing some Dungeons and the Dragons? Beautiful. Let's do that then. Everybody grab a drink, pull up a chair, come hang out with us at the Red Wagon Inn, as where we last left off. Marigold Elwyn had told you about those raiders that had taken over the well. They had gone with maybe about 100 of their villagers trying to find something to drink, but they just can't, as the raiders have turned them away and fired upon them with bolts and weaponry. You told Marigold Elwyn that you would go help them. It is currently still the dead of night, probably about 1 in the morning at this point. There's a few clouds that still seem to be gathering and rolling further towards the center of Old Cora, being more to the northwest from where you all are, as you are to the northeast of the Ludgate, the wall that you came in through. So, what are we wanting to be doing?
Is the plan still that we're going to scream into their heads and get them all discombobulated?
It's quite effective, I have to say, but perhaps you could just... You're quite big, maybe you could just scare them out of the way, I don't know.
I do like screaming into people's heads.
What?
It's a lot of fun.
There's more than... Marigold seems just kind of a little concerned at the plan. She's confident that you all can do the job, but is scared of you all in its own way. She's kind of viewing you as the lesser of two evils right now. Especially since Emma screamed into her head quite fiercely.
If I may suggest, we have 3 people who are very capable at a distance with magic. So if you 3,
And I looked at Exie, Emma, and Winter.
if you wish to stay further back but make a perimeter while Ashrin and I approach, then I believe if there's not conversation to be had, then we'll have to deal things as they are. Unless I'm wrong to assume.
I could still scream into people's heads from a good distance away.
Me too.
Is
Do you
one of
know-
you a Imperial spotter?
A spider?
Spotter?
Spotter.
This must
I-
be terminology I don't know.
You use arcane, correct?
Oh, yes.
Spotter. Cast like light or fairy fire on targets far away.
Ah.
I
Winter's
don't have
gonna-
those abilities.
Winter's going to grab her book and kind of like flip through. I haven't read about that yet.
Affirmative.
We used to have someone in our caravan that might have been able to do that, but I think I saw him go down.
Exie, would it help you to have light near your targets?
Affirmative.
I'll bring torches.
I could set everything on fire.
That's a good idea. I like that. I could help.
Everything or only targets?
Well, everything over there.
As long as we keep it controlled, we want the raiders to be warded off, but we also want these individuals to be able to move in.
Yes, that's right. Not burn everyone.
I don't know. They didn't look like they were taking prisoners. They were just firing their bolts, and one of them was slashing quite ferociously with some weapon. It was very dark and hard to see, but I just want them gone and out of there. I'm
There was
so
5
thirsty.
around the well you mentioned, yes?
That's all that I saw.
Hmm.
5
Yes,
seems more than feasible.
5 of us.
What is this well made of? Will it burn?
It's stone, like most wells.
And how close are your friends to that well?
We scattered as soon as they started firing upon us. A few got hit, and as did I, but you helped with the bolt before. Most of them should be gone.
Because I know this really cool spell that I read about called Fireball.
Oh. Ooh.
And that could make them burn. Or I have another spell.
I
that
don't
could
care.
make
I'd
them
see them
burn
all
with
burn
a
for what
little
they
bit.
did.
How well equipped are these individuals? Do they just have crossbows, or does it seem like they have more with them?
They have good weaponry, not just scraps. They have functioning crossbows, not anything that they had to make themselves. They must have some sort of smithy or bowyer.
Ashwin, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't see why we can't just take them on. We all look like capable people. Sorry, XC.
Then I consider XC a very valuable person. So if person is a insulting term, XC, let us know. Ordell's gonna get up. Ashwin, you're with me. Let's do this.
Do you
Do
need
you
me,
want me to-
or do you want me to wait, or what?
She
Secure
can
our
stay
camp.
with me.
That'd be a good idea.
I'll go with you then.
Secure what you can here. And
She
yes, stay with XC.
She looks up at the large metal man and says, "Okay, I have no weapon. Is that okay?"
I pull into my small pack and I pull out a dagger. I hand it to her and you watch my back.
She holds on to the small dagger as if inexperienced with both hands, one cupping the pommel at the bottom to give it some more force. She doesn't look like she knows what she's doing.
I'm gonna give her a hooded lantern and say,
XC may need light, but you need to dim that light when XC says. So if you illuminate that while XC is reloading, it will help.
Okay. I can try.
Gonna pull on Emma's clothes and like lean up to whisper in her ear and say, where did they land on me burning everything?
we we could burn it. We could burn it all.
Can I
Within reason.
can I see if there are any of the like civilians
Still left over
Within-
there. So
that I would burn?
because they're about
no.
a quarter mile away from you at this point, and you're just illuminated by starlight only, you'd have to get a little bit closer to make that out, since you have your silly human eyes.
In that case, I'm first gonna cast dark vision
Okay.
so that my silly human eyes are a little less silly.
As you read through the pages on the book, you kind of have to squint to do so, but the more you read, the more clear they begin to appear in your vision as your finger turns green as you quickly just wipe over your eyes. A small flash of green appears over and your pupils change to a bright neon green before fading away as you blink, as you can now see with no problems in the dark.
Still a little far to see if there's people though, right?
They're still far, and it's just purely the distance to make it hard to tell who's alive and who's dead out there. Getting closer now, you don't have to be right up next to them to be able to make it out, though. You could actually do some scouting, Winter, and not rely on other people.
Okay.
What are we doing?
As I stand up to join Ordell, sorry, I just pull my rapier out from my back and I start twirling it around and just like ready to fight.
Ashrin, go ahead and roll me a performance roll.
Oh no. Oh, 19 plus 2, 21.
Oh, okay. Ashrin, as everyone's preparing, Ashrin quickly takes out a rapier and twirls it between her fingers and tosses it from one hand to another. And as she holds it out, you can see almost like a rubber band like string, it quickly moves back into her other hand as she prepares for a charge. Are you all
Ordell
going?
picks up his maul and looks over. Show off, and he keeps walking.
So,
But Ordell has like a small smile after saying that, so you know he's not being a dick.
Ordell and Ashrin begin walking towards where the bandits are. Winter, Emma, XC. What are the three of you doing?
I'm
You go first, Brie.
Winter.
I'm gonna walk behind them, but up until the point where I can make out the people who is good people, who is not
Who is
good
bad
people.
Okay. XC, you're planning on kind of sticking to the rear, correct, or on the outside of everyone?
I'll walk with Ordell until I get to about 120, 160 foot away from the well, and then I will set up position.
Okay. Emma?
Ruckus, no, that would kill everyone. Emma seems to be talking with something over her shoulder, just chilling there for the moment.
As you take a look at Emma, seeming to speak to nobody, you look quickly, and what do they see on your shoulder?
I see a little, almost like a Muppet, like a little sock puppet, just like the head's flapping back and just yapping, but you don't hear anything. And it's just Emma just chatting like with this strange little sock puppet. No.
Hold it a little higher in your hand, by the way. Because Drew has an actual one.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I didn't know it had a back, too. The back is better somehow. That makes it cuter.
We could no.
Wait,
That's
we
just
see
Emma.
this, right? We see this.
You all see it. You absolutely all see this thing that has appeared. Emma holds her hand up, seemingly using it like a hand puppet. However, it seems to move and speak like a regular being. The puppet, the top of its head articulates, moving up and down and back and forward as if somebody's hand is controlling it, but it itself seems to move with more control than a hand puppet would allow it to have.
Sorry, Brie doesn't know how to handle this, so I'm not sure what Winter would do.
Chat says you deserve an
XC.
inspo, so yeah, you get one for making an actual puppet.
XC, add to the log of Emma that sanity might not be prevalent.
Affirmative. Medic, pain in my ass, sanity might not be permanent.
Yes. We burned them all. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Let's go. And
As-
Emma's gonna scurry up to the rest of the group.
As Emma joins the group, the puppet seems to disappear from her hand and appear behind her shoulder as if it crawled through her rib cages and suddenly pulls itself up. As Emma walks forward with you all, headed towards the raiding party. Is everybody planning? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna walk next to Emma and I'm gonna take the ring out of wherever it is. It's just kind of like scared of it now. Like, oh, does this cause that? And I'm gonna get it to the sock puppet and I'm gonna ask the sock puppet, hey, would you like this?
I don't want it.
I'm just gonna put it back in my bag.
As Ashrin turns it to her bag, everyone kind of gives each other a quick puzzled look before kind of focusing on the task at hand. Emma now walks up with the very front of the group, unfazed by this, and thinks Ashrin is weird for asking a question like that. As the group gets closer, you're maybe about 300 feet away or so at this point. If XC, you would like to kind of break off from the pack.
That'd be great.
Okay. Marigold follows you kind of crouched low, though you know that doesn't help in the darkness like this. It's more just the soft footsteps that you hope that she has. Being that both of you are kind of going off on your own, go ahead and give me a stealth roll for the two of you.
I sure can. It's behind my mic. Oh, that's a nat 1. Okay.
Hold on.
I would like to use you have to roll stealth for me anyway, but I could take an inspo.
Do you want to use an inspo on it?
I would love to use an inspo on it.
Go ahead. Use your inspo.
That's just a horrible. Oh, look at that. 18 plus 6 is 24.
24. Well, with Marigold's nat 20, she is a natural in this environment and has been here for quite some time. You are about to step off to the side and thinking that this is just a desolate wasteland and aren't going to see anything, you're about to bring your foot down before a normal person's foot would have had to go down just with the momentum of it, as you see a glass bottle that you're about to step on and break. But as a Warforged, you're able to quickly lock yourself in position, move your foot 6 inches precisely to the right to avoid the bottle, and continue moving silently through the night as Marigold follows quickly behind you. You both find a small hill, maybe about 5 foot tall, but just enough for you to duck behind or lay on top of and try and be unnoticed.
Definitely, I'll lay down prone, put my trench coat over my head so the color seems to just sort of nearly blend in with the background, and then have my my rifle extended out towards the well.
As XC and Marigold now stand overwatch for you all, the 4 of you begin to approach the camp. Everybody roll me a perception roll.
Dirty.
Emma is distracted.
Ashwin. 1.
Net
Win-
one.
Ooh, Winter.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Ordell.
12.
12. Emma is distracted. So as you're approaching, it's still quite dark. The rest of you with dark vision will be able to see when you get there. However, the magically enhanced version of dark vision that Winter carries about her allows her to see that there are, in fact, 5 people, and there don't appear to be any leftover friendlies, quote unquote, as some of them seem to be dragging the bodies back over to a small pile near the well and are searching through them. They're looting whoever they've killed. It seems that they took out maybe 24 folks here next to the well. All of them stand near each other, but they don't appear to have noticed you yet. You're maybe about 150 feet out. As you get closer, though, that will happen quickly, that they will start to be aware of your presence.
It's going to happen very quickly because I'm going to cast Fireball.
Ah, so there is no waiting for negotiation, correct?
No.
Fireball's range is 120 feet, correct?
Yes.
Cool. So at about 120 feet, you all get close. Ordell has his maul out. Ashrin holds the rapier at hand. Emma doesn't talk to the puppet for a moment, but begins to think of a spell in which she could fling towards them to end their life very quickly. XC, you begin to see a small green glow come off of Winter as they approach the group. I'll give you a moment if there's any reaction you want to do, or if you're waiting to see anything, purely because I know you've been kind of on, ready to go.
I'll jump in and let you know.
Okay. Winter, as you approach, you see one of them hit the other one on the shoulder. You can't make out what they're saying, but they do point out that you all are approaching them. As this happens, your hands, go ahead and describe to us, because we've never had magic from you in an offensive manner described for this new character. What does it look like when you cast an offensive spell?
It's very delicate. She does probably too much with her hands. Like half of it, you can tell that Winter has definitely stood in front of a mirror and practiced hand positioning, probably for hours on end. So she elegantly moves her hands and really draws out the green energy from her palms. And you can see that she's wearing a like a little skull, just like in my beautiful headshot, a little skull with like a worm that seems to be like a green energy ducking in and out, and that kind of illuminates as these streaks of green come from her fingers, and she points towards the camp, and like a burst of green energy that erupts into flames shoots towards them.
As this expulsion of energy, you suddenly see a crackling of green beneath the ground, and an explosion, a geyser of green flames erupts near the well. We don't know what this is going to do, if there was anybody alive who was laying down possibly. However, we know that there is a fireball now on the raiders. So, give me a moment. What is your DC, as we haven't had to do that yet?
It's a dexterity save of 16.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage for your fireball.
Okay.
Is this our first attack of the?
It's the
Of
first
the-
attack.
Cool.
And of course, it's fireball.
Sorry, I'm just counting out my d6s, you know.
Guys, we're a different stream. We don't adhere to stereotypes. We don't have a big old barbarian. We don't have a wizard who casts fireball at the first opportunity. No, I don't like it.
Not us.
Not us.
You don't drop any other stereotypes. When you say big old barbarian,
We
I'll
don't
have you
an
know.
undead who is a warlock. We don't have a warforged who is a sniper. The
Only
paladin
true.
that's female isn't dexterity. That's not what happens here.
Just 22 points of
Oh,
of
low
damage.
numbers, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
As
This is the first time she's cast fireball.
yeah. As a sudden crackling of green flame erupts beneath the bandit's feet. Dust goes flying everywhere. Small particles that look like meteors of green flame and rock go shooting out from the area as you hear the cries, "No!" as people go flying. Those standing, 3 of them drop as you see their legs fly just as far as their arms in opposite directions. However, 2 of them still stand strong. Is not exactly the word that I would use. But since this is a surprise, if there's anything anybody would like to do in addition to that, they can.
I was gonna say,
Can I see those 2 standing? Oh, go, Drew.
No, I was just gonna say real quick. At the sight of this green fireball, Emma's one eye transfers from one socket to the other, and you watch as the puppet just fades away. Emma appears to be excited now.
Exy, you do see the 2 standing as they were lit up with light. If they weren't lit up with a fireball, that would be a no, but you do see them.
I'd like to take a shot at both.
Ooh, go for it.
Okay, well, what's their range from me at the moment?
Right now, from you moved up a little closer, so they're about 240 feet.
Got you. All right, so I'm only rolling at normal die. Okay, I don't think a 12's going to hit, but I think a 19 might.
The 19 does hit.
All right.
These are a group at like a college campfire or something, and they sent the Guardians of the Galaxy to kill them. That is what just happened.
So that unfortunate roll is going to take 11 damage.
11 damage. As 3 of them go firing off, the explosive sound echoes in the wasteland. But 4, you suddenly hear 2 loud. First one slams into the rocky side of the well, and you can hear it shoot out and shatter upon the rocks. Both of them look around briefly and now kind of catch eyes on all of you. Both of them pull up these heavy crossbows before one of them is met with a bearing right between the eyes and falls backwards. The one still standing, a young man with must be short hair from the distance that you're at, hides behind the well and ducks for cover. As now, there is just one left, but I would still like to know who gets to move next. So let's go ahead and roll an initiative just to see.
Hey, it's my
True
first
size.
natural 20 of the night.
Nat
Yeah,
One
Bone
dice.
Queen.
Do I have to
No, I
retire
wrote-
your dice straight away, Drew? I got a 2.
I don't know why, Rybo, but I thought you were introducing a guest. And like, and he falls behind the well. And that's where we have.
Come on down, John Cena.
Hey, so guys, please don't shoot me immediately. I would like to describe my character.
Oh no, did I burn John Cena?
Oh no.
These are actually all a bunch of just wrestlers that were at the campfire. On the ground, this guy's going, "Help me, brother!
One
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?"
Dang it! I was just about. One guy's arm falls on the stone well that's on fire. What's that rock cooking? All right.
Sorry, what are
So
their
Drew
names?
got a nat 20. Asherin
7.
7. XC
5.
5. Winter
13.
13. Ordell
21.
21. So it's gonna go Emma, then Ordell, then Winter, Asherin, XC. with the bandit sprinkled in there at one point. But Emma, you can start it off.
Wonderful. Emma's gonna start skipping forwards towards this guy hiding behind the well.
Okay. You're about
getting
120
as
feet
clo-
away at this point.
Okay, then I'll use my action and my movement to get all up in there.
Okay, so you're going to try and get about 60 feet closer?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Ordell, it's your go.
Ordell's gonna like raise his arm, like I think they've seen enough for now. But I'm also going to, I'm gonna do the same action and bonus. I go 100 feet because my movement's 50.
Okay.
Because barbarian zoom.
As you see this man duck quickly behind the stone well, he peeks his head up for but a moment, purely as the sound of boom, 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 boom gets closer, only 20 feet away from him at this point. It very much looks like Scion in League of Legends just bounding towards him currently. It is going to be his... Oh, go ahead.
I will say before, I will say,
Drop your crossbow now.
Are you trying to intimidate him?
sure.
Go for it. I would say that you have advantage.
Fair. Can I use strength for this, like the substitute rules thing, or
Not because
I'm not really?
Normally, I
Okay.
would say yes. No, because you didn't do the fireball. You're getting advantage.
That's
instead.
fair. That's fair. That's still pretty darn good. I still have a +4. Huh. That is a 22. 18 plus 4.
Okay. He actually is pretty stout, pretty strong. He's seen a lot of things out here. As you say, drop your weapon now. It does go to his turn. As you tell him to drop his weapon, you are quickly met by a bolt. One bolt. One flies way on by. Winter, it even goes above your head from where you're at. His hands must be shaking pretty heavily. But as he fires one from this heavy bolt, he quickly must have some action that lets him do this very quickly as he fires another bolt, this one hitting directly into your shoulder, or dealt for... that is 8 points of piercing damage.
Because Ordell's thing being undead in bunch, he doesn't like feel pain, but he knows like when he's dying, he just hits the bolt.
That was unwise.
As it goes to your turn, Ashwin.
We're still 100 feet out, right?
Yeah,
120 feet?
120.
I'll dash.
Okay.
So
Getting 60 closer.
yep,
Okay.
yep. That's
You and-
all.
You and Emma rush very quickly, trying to keep up with Ordell getting there. Then it's... Oh, actually, it was supposed to be Brie, so we'll go Winter now.
Too much if I make that one burn too. And I do another like whip of green energy, and this time you just see kind of like shoots of 3 bolts all shoot towards him as I cast Scorching Ray.
Ooh, go ahead and you roll your 3 hits.
Welp.
As Winter grabs the dust from the ground, the decayed, the ash, everything that's mixed into this land, you throw up forward and connect like magical lightning that shoots out jets of green fire towards this man. Do you hit? What are your 3 hits?
Oh, I was gonna say I don't think so, but first one's 23 to hit. Then
Does she hit Hey Rybo, does she hit? Does he? Does
that hit?
What
does
about the
that
other
hit Rybo?
Then it's gonna be 14
And the other one?
and also 15.
You actually just barely hit with that first one because he is behind 3/4 cover. So one
Just
of
one
them,
there?
That makes sense.
as he sticks out to shoot Ordell, you clip him right in the shoulder. Go ahead and roll your damage.
3.
3. That actually is exactly what you need. These are not very healthy raiders. As Winter shoots out a jet of green flame that Ordell, you say, that was unwise, before his shoulder blasts off and his arm hangs on just a little bit of sinew before he tries to grasp the well and pull himself up before you just see his hand fall off on the other side. You're pretty certain that there's nothing else there to worry about. As you all solved your very first combat puzzle of the Red Wagon Inn. Very handily.
Huh. The solution was fireball.
The whole
Huh.
time.
Weird.
Why don't more
How
people do
is it?
that?
Wow.
That's gonna become a Red Wagon
Did I
meme,
burn
isn't it?
too much?
As XC,
Mm.
you feel Marigold's hand on your shoulder. She says, I can't see that far, but did she blow up the well?
Negative. It is safe. You can go now. I will keep an eye on you.
Okay. She reaches out her hand as if to help you up.
I will remain here.
Okay. She grabs your dagger, still kind of holding it in both hands as she slowly kind of does that walk over that's halfway between a walk and like a jog just to get there kind of quickly as her feet drag in the dust. Emma?
While we're doing the thing,
Oops, sorry.
I was
Emma?
just gonna say, can I get 30 feet away, pull down the shirt a little bit, reach in, grab a lick of green flame out of my chest, and flick it at him, and say, "Not yet," as I cast Spare the Dying.
As his hand disappears behind the well, Emma, you quickly go, not yet, and throw like a ball over the well as it lands on the other side. And you can see a bright flash of green. Exy, it does concern you briefly, but you see it come from Emma as the whole landscape turns green for a flash, as you see his arm kind of hold back up one more time as if for a dying breath, but he seems to have some purpose on it now before it falls off to the side. No longer dying, but just spared.
So he I can see him rise back up, right?
You can see his hand come back up after it fell the one time, so you can definitely tell that he's not dead, though he doesn't look to be healthy.
I shoot him.
Okay. As you can basically see their legs sticking out from the edge of the well, so go ahead and roll at disadvantage for that.
Sure. That's a 9 and a nat 20, so I'll take the 9.
Okay. What's that total?
And plus 8 is 17.
Yeah, you just hit on that. As
8 damages.
Emma, you say, not yet. You can see his feet kind of wriggle there for a moment as he lays out on the ground before one of the boots that is there suddenly finds itself with a hole in it as he begins to convulse in shock, killing him once more.
Rude. Emma again reaches in, a green flame, and flicks it at him and casts Spare the Dying.
At this point, all of you who are running that way are there. Winter, you still stand about 120 feet away as Marigold comes up to you and says, before she just walks on, really unable to say a word, going to see what's happening. As Ordell, Asherin, and Emma now huddle around this one where the boot flew off as Emma goes and throws one more Spare the Dying on this man. XC, you see it shaking and convulsing before stopping, and one more hand coming back up onto the well. But you also see your three companions around the body.
this time though, I am gonna raise my hand again to be like, "Exy, don't," and I'm gonna because I have a torch, so I'm gonna be like, "We're good, don't shoot him." I am though before anyone else gets to it because I was right by the well. I'm gonna take a full like bucket from the well, and I'm gonna fill up. Because I have like some extra water skins, but because we dumped our rations
I'll
and
pause
stuff,
you
like
there.
so they're empty.
I will pause you there. If you want to get to the well and take a look in, you can.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
As you get to the well, the mechanism that would allow you to send a bucket down and fill it up with water,
Mm-hmm.
sometime in the past 12 seconds, vanished in green flame. You can see bits of it still on fire, and the rope that was holding it up gone. As you look down into the well and hold your torch over it, you also see what once was a very deep well, maybe about 100 feet. unless this well goes very, very deep down, you'd have to go see. You can barely see water down in there. This is not a very full well at all.
Like, is it because it evaporated in the past 12 seconds, or like it never was there to begin with?
It didn't just. She didn't burn up, like 120 feet of water. So it's either very deep with water down at the bottom, or there wasn't a lot to begin with. You don't know. From where your torch is and the distance it is, it could be very deep. You may throw a rock down in there, but for now, it just seems to be kind of odd. Normally, wells are a lot more full than this for you.
I'm gonna start taking out water and my rope and things and my carpenter's tools, and I'm gonna start working on repairing the well. When the lady walks by us, though,
When this place is settled more properly, you and the other 90 or so survivors, you need to dig more wells than just one. It rains here often, but if you have just one to rely on water...
I didn't make this well. We stumbled
I
across
didn't
it.
say you did. I didn't say you did. I'm saying when you settle here, make more.
We can't settle here. We just wanted to come by. There's the whole raider camp in an LV.
Fine.
Emma, as
Do as you will.
you're looking over this spared dying man, Ashrin, you both kind of stand crowded over the dying human. What are the two of you doing?
I stand there, disappointed, running over. She probably was playing with her rapier still a little bit, and then she gets there, and she just flips it back into the holster on her. It's gonna be in her back. And she's gonna kick dirt around, I guess, for now. Although she's gonna take her rope out from her back. She has 50 feet, and she's gonna help and give that to Ordell.
Okay, cool. Ordell now would have 100 feet of rope to go about his business. You kind of give a loud, audible sigh as you go over there and start handing rope to Ordell, leaving this dying man there next to Emma. What are you doing, tiefling of the undead?
Emma's gonna go sit on this dude's chest and then cast Cure Wounds, which is wonderful because as a Grave Cleric, that's an immediate 12 HP that he gets back.
As
I'm
Emma-
assuming he's at 0-ish.
Also, that is the
he's
first time
stabilized,
you've
but
said
at
your
0.
other class, by the way, Emma. I don't know if anybody heard it.
Ooh.
Oh. As you reach down and cast Cure Wounds for 12 HP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He, with his arm is still barely hanging on there. As you push a bit of green flame into where his heart is, basically kind of heating it up and causing a surge of adrenaline to force him back away. Because he tries to scramble away from you for a moment with one arm.
And she takes her bony finger and puts it on his lips.
Get away from me! He keeps swatting your finger away. He says, "Get away, you unwilling!"
Stop it. We're okay.
What are you doing?
Okay. I healed you, did I not? I cannot be a bad person. I brought you back to life.
Where did that come from? What? As Winter and Marigold are approaching at this point, keep her away from me! Keep her away! What are you doing here?
Well, you're a naughty person.
What do you mean? What did we do to you?
I don't know. You shot this woman.
She was to steal our water. This is our well.
Emma's head just turns to look at this woman. Now tell me the truth.
That is the truth. I told you before. We wanted to come just to get a drink, but they wouldn't let us have any. We couldn't feed all of you. There's barely enough water for us as it is. There are 100 of you. You would drink the well dry and we would all die out here.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. We needed water. Many of us were dying already. And so you blew us up for it. And destroyed the winch. Now no one gets water. Is that what you wanted? Oh, he
Emma
looks at
looks
his
back at her. Is that what you wanted?
She says, "No, I just wanted a drink. We're thirsty." As he looks down at the mincemeat that is his shoulders. He kind of has to keep himself from looking at it. He says,
Did I get too excited?
I think the appropriate amount of excited. I think actually, yeah. You did great. You did great.
I think you had our best interest in mind, and I think that was completely fine.
Hmm.
The man goes to stand himself up on the edge of the well with one arm, kind of holding the other arm up so that it doesn't pull and stretch on him as he says, "Fine. Have the bloody well. Drink it dry and watch everyone die. But you've already killed me. I can't fix this."
I can fix it for you.
"Stay away from me, skeleton."
Shh! I brought you back from the dead. What kind of where's the gratitude? You could have died.
"You did your master's bidding," as he points over to Winter and Ashrin. "What?"
This is when Emma stops. The one eye separates into two. She looks him dead in the face and says, "I have no master."
Roll an intimidation.
Ashton's gonna cross her
Ooh.
arms over themselves and just stand back and let the chaos happen.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. As you get right in his face and say, "I have no master," he spits in your nose hole. Says,
Can I do it, like give it right back?
oh yeah, absolutely. As a gust of magical wind inhales the loogie and shoots it right back at him as he... "Is this where you get your kicks, you two? You kill people defending a well and then bring them back to life with your scourge, and then you claim to kill them again and bring them back more? Seen your kind. Get back to your castle and leave us alone." He seems
I
to
don't
talk
know.
towards Ashrin and Winter.
I don't owe you any answers.
He turns to walk away towards the west. As he carries his arm out, holding it up, preventing any weight from pulling on what is left of his shoulder, he begins walking away to the west. Do you let him go?
Are you? I'll turn to Emma. Emma, are you sure you wanna just let him go? I can handle it.
Oh, you can kill him if you'd like.
I turn to Exy and nod.
I fire my gun. Actually, no. Can I see him nod?
Ordell has a torch, so yes.
All right. Bang.
All right, bang. You're still quite a distance away, so roll to hit.
Yep. That is a 16.
Yup.
Hey, what?
16.
That hits.
And that is 14 damage.
You healed 12, correct, Drew?
I did.
As he holds his arm and limps away, he turns back towards you with just disgust on his face before you see his face hang there a moment and his body falls as a bullet enters one temple and flies out the other. You hear the shot echo out in the wasteland as he drops. Marigold kind of
We're gonna.
cringes at it. Ashrin?
No gratitude in the wastelands.
He wasn't gonna make it without that arm, anyways.
We don't leave people to suffer. That leads to worse things, especially a place like this.
I'm going to continue just working on the winch.
He is the rudest dead person that I have ever spoken to.
Right?
Exy, go
You
ahead and roll
bring
me a
someone back
perception
from
check.
the dead? Twice?
I love perception. No, I don't. That's a 9.
A 9. You are focused in on your friends, making sure nothing comes up and attacks them from behind. As Marigold looks and says, I'm sorry. I was just so thirsty, and so were the rest of my. I hope that they make it back through soon. I'll wait here, and I'll go look for them, but I need a drink. Ordell, Ashton has given you an additional 50 feet of rope. Go ahead and roll me a check for that. So, because it's you said you had tools for that, correct?
Yeah, I have my carpenter's tools.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a carpenter tools check with that, and we'll see how good your repairs are.
While I'm working on it, I'm going to use another one of my, knowledge from a past life. This time, though, Ordell, like, while he's working, like, almost goes catatonic, like he's staring at something, and then he winces as if someone yelled something over his shoulder.
Just kind of flinches there for a moment, Ashton, as you're handing him the rope. You notice for a second that he flinches before kind of going back to work. He looks off to the side briefly. You take a look and don't see anything before he starts hammering away. You're kind of making a makeshift well thing here. Essentially, you're creating two little holsters and placing a bar in the center that could be spun. A very crude version of how a well would work. You'd tie the rope to it and be able to spin it up and spin it down. Probably would take two of you to work in order to do it effectively, just for the tension and the torque that would be required. But what was your score?
Question. So for the tool do you want like intelligence? Do you want sleight of hand? Like what kind of check
if you're
is this?
proficient with the tool, you add your proficiency bonus to it. And since it's carpentry, I would say strength plus proficiency.
Oh, dang. Okay. Okay. So the base roll was 15, plus I got a 5 on my D6. So that's 20 plus 6. So that's a 26.
You take bits of broken crossbow, the kind of ends that are crescent moon shaped that would hold on to the strings there, and basically force them into the well with a nail. Being that you have pieces of metal here that would work, you know that this isn't going to break anytime soon. You also find a small metal rod that would have been the haft of some metal spear, and use that to make it work. And with your 100 feet of rope, you're not entirely sure if it'll make it, but there's only one way to know. There is a bucket on the side, but the bucket does have some damage from the fireball. It would probably hold about half as much as it normally would.
I have a bucket in my inventory, so I'm gonna take that.
Fantastic.
So I'll use my bucket, and I'll replace my bucket with half broken bucket to repair later.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, and if it works, to see how much water I can get. Basically, my first priority is fill up, because I have extra water skins, so I'm going to fill up 3 water skins, and then I'm going to get the lady to drink. As much as Jakey likes the lady and stuff, I'd rather my party has water to drink right now, because, yeah.
So, do you throw the bucket with the rope down into the well?
Yep.
Okay. You tie off one end, tie 1 inch to the winch, throw it down into the well. It clambers down on the side of the stone, and you can hear it for a few seconds before finally the rope hits tight, and you can see the bucket just barely doesn't reach down to the bottom. There's maybe about 10 feet left before you'd hit the water. This is a very, very deep well.
Then I'm gonna affix another 50 feet of rope.
Do you have another 50 feet?
Yeah, I have the explorer's pack and extra rope.
Oh, you bought extra rope? Okay, cool. Then yeah, you pull up a little more, give a sigh, add an extra bit of rope to that, and let the bucket drop to the bottom. As it hits the water, you hear it hitting the stone at the bottom. Not only is it hitting water, there must only be a little bit of water down here at the bottom of the well. The bucket leans on its side, and as the bucket scrapes along the bottom, when you kind of shake it around a little bit, Ordell will need some help pulling this bucket up, just turning the other side of the metal thing. Who wants to help him?
I'll help him.
Ashrin, as you and Ordell both turn it like a cooking spit over a fire, it finally comes up, and you see what must be only about a quarter of the bucket full with water. It's enough to probably help one person have enough water for the day.
We'll store this for later. We'll just keep taking up as much water as we can, and then whatever we take, then we give the rest to them.
Sounds good.
Okay. You fill up a water skin once. Are you going to fill up another one? Since Asherin and Winter are the only ones who actually need food because y'all came very prepared to, make this campaign easy. Since Asherin and Winter are the only ones, do you do it twice to get enough for the water skins?
Yeah, I'll do it twice instead of originally I was going to do 3. But if there's that little of water, I'm not going to be a jerk. So yeah, I'll do 2 water skins. Give one to Asherin and then fix one to Winter's bag, and then I'll just help the lady get as much water as she can.
Okay. So you're gonna help her kind of get some at least a drink out of it. Okay. She works with you as you fill up the water skins. You can see she kind of licks her lips as you pull the well water up and out of there. Even as you do so, this isn't the cleanest water that's ever been. This is what must have been an empty well before a rain came through and just kind of took all the dirt and dust off of the side that must have been. It's not very clear, but she still, as it comes out, takes the bucket and drinks it greedily straight from the bucket. As this is happening, Emma, Winter, what are you two doing?
Winter is watching Emma and kind of like looking around to see if I can find the puppet that I saw moments ago.
Go and roll a perception for me.
18.
You look around. There's not much to be hidden in an unwilling, especially one wearing as little clothing as Emma is. You're certain that there is nowhere where this puppet could be hiding, and yet you do not see it on Emma.
Emma? May I call you Emma, or would you prefer Bone Queen?
It is up to you. I do not care. I'm not actually royalty, but I like it.
Well, not yet. It seems like there's a lot of unclaimed land out here. I'm sure we could change that.
I claim this land. I am now royalty.
And in your name, my queen, this land is yours. Curious.
Yes.
You had a friend.
Oh, you can see Ruckus.
Well, not right now, but adorable little creature on your shoulder. I've never seen magic like it before. Who are they?
That's Ruckus. And Emma holds out her hand, but there's nothing there for you to see.
Hello, Ruckus.
Ruckus, that's rude. Slap.
It's hard to meet new people, isn't it, Ruckus? And Winter kind of looks where she thinks Ruckus might maybe be, but I'm guessing looks kind of over the top of where Emma imagines them.
Oh no, Ruckus is over here now.
Oh.
And just keeps doing this like over and over, just pointing to different spots.
Your magic is quite enthralling, Bone Queen.
It can do cool things. And you know, God, I'm probably gonna get a GFY for this. It's worth it. You know the avatar when he holds up the little wind in his hands. She's gonna do that with green energy.
No GFY for that.
And Winter's gonna mirror that energy in her hand. But I don't know how you managed to bring that soul back to life so quickly. I mean, I did make him burn.
It might have something to do with this. And she reaches in, and as she pulls her shirt down, you can see this green flame glowing in her chest. And she takes a finger and just holds it back out, and she has this little green flame on the tip of her finger. And she boops Winter on the forehead with it, casting guidance.
As you do so, a gaggle of sparks, like hitting a hammer on an anvil, goes in front of your face and begin to fly upwards like fireflies in the night. You feel good. You're glad to have Emma on your side.
Winter, I don't think Ashrin likes the ring.
Kind of hard to tell if Ash likes anything.
She keeps trying to give it back,
Mm.
but I can't take it.
Oh, why can't you take it?
It's cursed. You see, I can't. Ashrin, Ashrin, can you put my ring on?
But about this
And
time,
Emma
you're
holds out her finger.
done filling up your water skin, and you cork it and head on over to them.
The ring, what?
Mm-hmm.
Me, you.
She dangles her finger,
Oh, okay.
and as soon as you put the ring on her finger, it falls through and falls to the ground. I can't wear it, you see, because it defeats the purpose if I go inside the ring and then the ring falls to the ground, and I can't wear it. So someone has to wear it. But you unlocked me out of the ring, and I assume there's something we could do about it. But I could perchance. I've noticed, Ashrin, that you may not like the ring.
I mean, well, I'm gonna be frank. I don't want to go crazy like you.
I'm not crazy. That's rude.
Ash, that is a little rude.
The bits of laughing are a little scary.
When do I do laughing? This has mostly been a serious matter. People have died. Anyways, I can do a ceremony to where you can give her the ring if you want.
I mean, if only if she
It's-
wants it.
It's a long ceremony. I do have to warn you, Winter. It can take
I-
up to 4 hours.
I would be very tired by that point. I mean, I'm honored. I would love. I mean, I don't want to take the ring from Ash, but I would love to wear the ring. I also, though, if it is quite a long ceremony, am a little concerned that we should probably work on some other matters first. And I point to what I presume is quite a lot of stuff on fire.
Oh,
There's not
yeah.
much to burn around here. However, there are many bodies that have been relocated, not all in one piece as a result of your fireball. There was a pile that you recall seeing. Now you see a littered battlefield around you.
Winter,
Well, we
you're
don't
not
want them
taking
coming
it.
back to life.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
sorry.
Winter,
What were you saying, Ash?
when you can't take something that's a gift, Winter.
May I touch it now, or do we have to do the ceremony first?
You can touch it. I wouldn't advise wearing it until the ceremony's done, though.
Okay, I like bring out my cloak and
Emma points over as soon as the ring is in Winter's hand and inside Winter's head.
Winner like flinches. And the ring, I guess, drops to the ground.
Yeah, if you flinch, then yeah, the ring drops to the ground and makes a loud
Ah,
in the dirt.
the ceremony.
God damn it.
Will you
I
be?
told you it's cursed.
Maybe you should hold on to it until we can do the ceremony. It doesn't sound like the ring wants me to touch it yet.
Did I see Emma do the mind yelling, or is that just something she just
Roll a sleight of hand,
Done.
Emma.
Okay.
I also know how to use
Oh
message,
no.
so-
Let's see. My sleight of hand's +2, so that's a 5.
She stood behind Winter, so Winter didn't see it happen. However, Ashrin, yeah, you did see it.
Do I know this? Do I know when someone's using message in my brain as someone who also uses message?
With a sleight of hand of 5, yeah, it freaks you out for a second before you immediately turn and recognize Emma having done that.
Emma quickly.
Yeah, I think maybe the ring doesn't want me to wear it just yet. The ceremony sounds very important. So perhaps you could hold on to it for just a little longer, Ash.
Of course. I'm just gonna make sure it's in like an outer pocket now. Like, don't want that being close to my body.
As Ordell, you finish helping Marigold get the last of the water from the well for her, as she requests that you put up another bucket of water for whoever comes next. That way it's already ready to go for when any of her friends would come back by. So you pull up one more thing, and now there's a small bit of water sitting on the bucket on the edge of the stone well here. This did interrupt all of your rest, especially yours, Winter, as you had to come help with this. You're all very tired, even if it is just exhaustion from having walked throughout the day. As Marigold says, "Thank you. I feel immensely better. I will wait here for the night, and in the day I will go looking for my companions and see then if we can bring them back. But we already left a bucket here. If anybody comes in the night, they can have more water, and hopefully everything will be fine. I have your friend's dagger. She hands it over to you, Ordell. The one that sits in the waiting.
Yes.
I
take the dagger.
I don't want to ask or be another burden once more, but I would very much like to stay near you all if you're planning to sleep for the night, or are you planning to move on?
We are going to set up camp here.
Very
It is a
good.
place that is already well warmed.
As I look over at Winter, I'm gonna wave XC over also.
If you wish to stay with us, you are welcome. Just know that we have helped you, so do us no wrong, and we will do you none.
Of course, I would not. Thank you so much. If I had anything to give at all, I would. Thank you.
Ordell just puts his hand up and just kind of stops her.
You're fine.
Gratitude is nice. As Emma walks away.
I thank you again.
I will hit you.
As I look over at Emma.
XC, do you approach the group as Ordell waves you over?
I'm pretty sure I interpret that correctly, and I head back over.
Okay. As you walk on over, the mechanical footsteps of XC can be heard pretty heavily walking through and echoing across the land as you get here. However, you're certain that there's nothing around you to cause any issue, and if there was, it must have been scared off by the great green flame in the sky. Marigold sits next to the well. At some point, Ordell, you do offer, like, do you want me to help move some of these bodies of your friends? She says, in the morning. I'm tired. They're not going anywhere. We'll deal with it then.
It might.
In the morning, we will check the bandits if they have anything useful. These weapons, the ones that are not burnt, may be helpful, especially if we run into any merchants out here. We can sell them what we don't need. Because it seems water is going to be a finite resource.
I mean, at worst, kindling.
Fair. It is good to have.
Burn your dead.
Then I'll just get a bit of shadow, will I? She kind of leans up next to the well. Just a bit, but wake me if it needs to be my turn to keep a lookout.
Ordell's gonna take his bedroll and just like wrap her in it. And then he's gonna sit in because it was already 4 hours, so Ordell is rested. He just kind of snaps the arrow in his shoulder though.
What time of night? Oh, sorry. What
go
time of
ahead.
night is it, Rybo?
Yeah, it's about 1 a.m. after this whole ordeal. So you're
Okay.
about halfway through a long rest.
Ooh, cool.
Your meditation
For
would have
winter,
happened
at
because we
least.
both sleep for 4 hours.
Thank you. So we're in like a decrepit town, right? Kind of like it's.
No, you're just at a
Oh.
well that's kind of out seemingly in the middle of nowhere.
Got her. Cool. Awesome. Amazing. Wonderful.
With all of the ash that's around you, perhaps there was something here long ago, but the only thing still standing is this well.
Did we bring any of our stuff, or have we got to camp? Like,
It's not too far. At some point, if it was desired, you could go back, grab your stuff, and then come back and camp at the well without any real issues.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, all of that burning things has made me a little bit tired. So I'm gonna have a quick little snooze, but I should be up in no time. And Winter's gonna buckle down for a solid 8 hours.
Sleep.
While Winter's sleeping, I'm gonna get our stuff, but I think I'm gonna spend like the time that Ordell's awake because I've rested now. I'm gonna like with my shovel just start digging like graves and stuff for the dead, but I'm gonna fill the bottoms with like ash from the things that's wrecked, as you mentioned, just in case we do like everyone decides to burn them, and then I'm just gonna like check bodies for belongings and things. Those that look to be with the lady, I'm gonna leave for her, but those are the bandits. I'm gonna pocket if there's any weapons or anything. I'm not gonna do the rogue style of like this is mine now, but I'm just gonna kind of throw it to the party just so they can all see what I'm finding.
So you're not pocketing anything from the female's companions?
No, unless there's something that really stands out that I'm like, why would they have this? Like if they have a scary cursed book, I'm gonna be like,
But I'm asking, are you checking pockets of bodies from them?
yeah, just generally,
Okay.
just in case.
So, as Winter and Marigold drift off to sleep, Ordell, if you do want to heal up that bolt that you got hit, at some point you'll need to take a rest during this, because you did get hit by something. Instead of doing
I'll do it on the latter
afterwards.
4 hours of our friend sleeping then.
Ash, Emma, XC. What are you all three doing?
I'll power down my usual state and continue
Okay.
my rest.
I'll
Ash?
offer to take watch.
Okay. Emma?
Emma's actually gonna walk around with Ordell, and as he's putting bodies into the pits, she takes out a little bit of silvery powder and at it, and she's going to be casting ritual ceremony funeral rite over as many bodies as she can, so that for the next 7 days they can't be risen from the dead.
Good to know. As Emma and Ordell go around, I need both of you to roll an investigation, and XC and Ashrin, I need both of you to roll me a perception. As both of you
I'm gonna
can
use
be
another
on
one of my
watch.
forgotten life things. My path of the whatever it's called, knowledge from past life for funsies.
Coolio.
Screwed. It's an 18. Plus
19 for me.
19.
14.
14. Ordell?
You said investigation?
Yes.
16 plus 6, and then only plus 1, so 23.
Cool. So we'll start with Ashrin and XC. As Ordell and Emma go about grabbing many of the bandits' bodies and begin searching through them, as well as digging holes to place many of Marigold's friends into as proper burial sites, and checking their pockets, XC and Ashrin, at one point in the night, maybe about 30 minutes into you all resting, when Ordell and Emma are kind of walking to grab some of the bodies that had run away and been shot by bolts in the back, you notice Marigold opens one eye and kind of creepily gets up and looks around before she reaches back to the bucket and chugs another bit of water from the side before she sets it back up on the well and pulls the bedroll over her just like Ordell laid it. Either of you do anything?
Negative.
Not pull my head closer.
We just hear a gunshot. She does that thing like old barrels where just water just starts pouring out, you know? When you hit her.
Emma, what was your investigation one more time? I remember Ordell's.
a 19.
Okay. So as you all both begin searching the bandits, there is one salvageable heavy crossbow still available. With that, there's about 10 bolts that could be used. So you can get that. Most things got destroyed, especially the clothing and armor in the fireball there from the bandits. However, there are a few pouches of gold and silver. total between the raiders, there's probably about 40 gold and 39 silver. So you can add that.
Emma struggles to pick up this heavy crossbow.
I just take it from Emma's hand.
Thank you. Oh.
Yes.
As
Hey, who carries those? Why?
People who want to defend
Might
themselves.
as well have a turret.
Ordell points to his shoulder when he says people who want to defend themselves, as the two of you have been digging some graves and begin pouring the pieces and full bodies of Marigold's friends in there. This takes you several hours to do. You're probably about 5 hours in from digging at this point before, all right, you finally get the bodies in. And before you just throw them and burn them to the torch, you absolutely check their pockets. Emma, most of them are just covered in scraps and rags. Their pockets have a few things like empty water skins, probably about 2 of those if you'd like to grab those. And one of them has kind of a very silken, fancy scarf. And then Ordell, as you're looking through, you see one of them seems to have a book in the side of it, as it seems to, you read through it. Go ahead and roll me an investigation one more time.
I'm not going to use the knowledge from past life because I don't think Ordell would feel the relevance for that. 14 plus 1, 15.
15. You quickly kind of skim through the book. It doesn't seem to be anything but somebody's diary. There's a few pages in there about the hard life that they've had walking out here in this kind of deserted area. Some of the things that they've done over the past few weeks, their trip out to the coast to gather fish that they could bring back and salt for some time. But other than that, you don't notice anything in there of particular importance.
Ordell's going to dust it off and clean it to the best of his abilities, and then I'm going to leave it by Winter, like by her bag and stuff, so that when she wakes up in the morning, she can find it.
Cool. Ordell, after that time that you've buried everything, put them over, it's been the full time, and you said you wanted to get another rest at the end of it. So as Emma does a lot of the just kind of kicking over of the dirt on the rest of it, you decide, all right, it's time to stop, take a bit of a rest. Ashrin and XC both...
The toll.
Ding
Hello.
Hello there.
As Ashrin and XC, you both have a full amount of rest at this point, but you could continue to just kind of sit in a near inactive state as Winter begins to snore heavily, as was described in the last episode, as does Marigold, now seeming to be actually in a state of full sleep.
I'd actually like to go through my morning ritual, please.
Please do.
Okay. So as XC begins to rise, it extends itself to its full height, and then, unsure if it is a trick of your eyes, it seems to extend even further, before slowly retracting to the aforementioned recognizable height. Standing still, you begin to see small movements at the top of its head. These movements stop, and the movements slightly below start and stop as well, where you would suspect ears would be. It moves, and then its eyes, mouth, and then its entire head goes into every single angle, swiveling movements possible only in different directions and stopping completely. You then notice the shoulders begin to go through this cycle. Slowly you watch XC go from top to bottom, checking every joint, servo, and movement possible. Then stops suddenly when the hips are being checked. Raising its right arm, it bangs on the hip heavily, a slight pop can be heard, and then the system check continues. As the final checks at the toes conclude, XC sits down, cross-legged, in a position and begins to unscrew its left shoulder plate with its right arm. Moments later, a piece is removed and flipped over to reveal what looks like a wok-shaped bowl. This is placed down, and XC removes the hopper, and while hovering it about the bowl, presses a button, and what you recognize as its bullets begin to cascade into the bowl. Once empty, the hopper is placed back on the arm, and a small cloth is pulled out of the trench coat. Each bullet is lifted, polished, and placed back into the hopper. You notice that some bullets are slightly shaped differently from others and colored differently, but most of them are dull gray. After checking and polishing every single bullet, XC reattaches the shoulder plate, putting away the cloth, and stands back up. Daybreak system check complete.
Rad.
As
That was-
Ashrin... Alex, by the way, take a point of inspo. as Ashrin, you sit there and kind of stretch yourself awake. Your morning ritual really just being kind of stretch your arms a little bit, kind of reach down, touch your toes. You hear the of all the servos from Exy doing this as he goes about cleaning the bullets in a very mechanical matter. As soon as he's done, he doesn't stop to take a look at it. He just knows they're clean at this point. He does the same thing every morning before putting them back and reattaching himself. You find your morning ritual to be very quick by comparison.
I mutter under my breath to myself as a joke, show off. No, it's not funny.
Show off.
Do I hear that?
Ordell is laughing but sleeping.
I would say no, you don't hear it. She just kind of to herself at that point. As right now, Ashrin and XC are the only ones awake. If Emma is also going to be resting with Ordell,
I mean,
you don't have to.
yeah.
Okay.
Might as
Ashrin
well.
and XC, you find yourselves the only ones awake for a while, as you're kind of starting what is the equivalent of your watch, even though you've been watching the whole night. A few hours go by, and you begin to see the sun rise and finally bring some light back into this world. And you can really see the damage that the fireball did. You didn't notice it, but you're kind of in an indentation in the ground where dust and dirt went flying, an almost bowl near where the center of the well is here. You're very glad that winter is on your side. Are the two of you doing anything until winter is done with her beauty rest?
Negative.
Okay. Another few hours go by before eventually winter finally stretches, awakens on her own. And at about this time, Marigold, just hearing the movement from winter, waking up and stretching and doing one of the big, loud, long yawns, wakes up herself, as does Ordell and Emma. Kind of chain reactions of yawns and stretches awaken everyone slowly in the camp here. As Marigold says, "Yes, I haven't slept that long. I don't recall the last time I've slept that long, honestly. Thank you all for keeping watch, keeping us safe, and thank you again for everything." I kind of dusts herself off. I think I'll be heading soon to find the rest of my group and bring them back to the well here.
Is there going to be enough water for them all to drink?
I can only hope so. We have many sick and many old. They need it. They need it bad.
Calculations say no.
I hope that you're wrong. Truly.
I am not.
Emma,
Sorry, that was me breaking. I am not.
Emma's gonna remove her hand and take off her scapula, and she's going to actually roll her hand bones into the bone tray, pretty much. And she's going to be doing augury as a ritual to try and get an idea of if this is going to be a good or bad thing.
Jackie's like, get a load of this guy.
look at this guy.
Did you see me? I was
Yeah.
like fixing my hair and I heard
Yeah.
it for a second and I was like, wait, what?
I don't need no blood magic.
I do that. As-
I don't know what blood magic you're talking about. I don't no clue whatsoever.
What are you asking for specifically of whether it's a wheel or a woe?
So good results, bad results. I want to know if it's gonna be a good thing if they are able to make it back, or if not.
So the question is it
That makes
good if
sense.
they return to the well?
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh. Emma's hand just forms back. She puts back on scapula, and they're all gonna die. Just so you know.
No, there's enough water to at least feed our sick and hungry before we can move on and find something somewhere else.
Emma's gonna walk over to the bucket, and
You look
she's
at the
gonna
bucket.
slosh it.
Bone dry.
And Emma tips over the bucket as nothing comes out, and then kind of just tosses the bucket to her feet.
I didn't touch it
Grenade
last
fire.
night.
I didn't either. It must have leaked out the bottom if it's not a very secure bucket, but there's still some down in the well. We can get more from there, right? She looks down. Good. There is. Good.
Interesting. I'm just gonna tell you now, I don't like liars.
I don't either. Roll an intimidation, Ashrin.
Oh no.
Can I
Do you want to aid her?
see if yeah.
Do you know
And
that she's lying?
I-
Because Ashrin and XC
No,
were the
I-
only ones who saw it.
I was gonna say, can I see if can I roll insight? I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
how to say that less.
Yeah, roll an
more
insight
in-
on Marigold.
19.
Winter.
It's 18 for insight.
Not only does Ashrin scare Marigold, Marigold seems to have her shoulders kind of slumped forward, and she seems to be in a very defensive posture at this point. Something's up. So Ashrin may know something that you don't. As Marigold says, you look in her eyes, Ashrin, and she seems to be pleading. Do not rat me out. Please do not tell anyone. She's, I don't either. Please, I just hope that we can get the water to them. I'm gonna go find them. I'll leave and bring them back to the well, and then we'll go from there.
As she does she move, or is she still just standing?
She's just standing currently. She seems to be very intimidated and afraid of Ashrin, and afraid to make a move without Ashrin saying something.
I'm gonna kind of walk up to her and place my hand on her cheek and run it down and across her shoulder, and then grab her hand and squeeze it and say, it would be an awful shame for us to help someone that was so undeserving.
She kind of looks back and forth between Winter and Ashrin. At this point, a little frozen in fear, knowing what you can do.
So you should go and find your friends, and they should drink.
Of course, yes. I'll try and find them right away. Where? Thank you again. Where are you headed, by the way? She's kind of like grabbing a few goods off to the side that are here. She grabs her bag and throws it on her shoulder. Where is it that you head?
To the city, right, my queen?
What city?
To the east.
There's no city east of here. Do you plan to sail on the sea?
Sea sounds nice.
Mm. There's always fish in the sea.
And a
Then-
lot of water.
Then east is the way to go. Travel safe. Thank you again. I will go find my companions.
Mm. I wouldn't bring them back, though.
They need water. I have to.
I rolled the bones and the bones spoke. But you do what you have to do.
Thank you again. Before she kind of seeming to look around, curious as to where most of the bodies were, before seeing kind of a mound and a shovel in it. Just kind of ducks her head and seems to go off to the north. There's a kind of area, maybe a mile or two out, that has some trees to the north, many half alive, most dead, before she's going to try and see who she can find.
Tearing holes into her back.
Emma's gonna lean over to Ashrin and say, "You're a lot nicer than I am. I would have suggested that we tied her up and then slowly lowered her into the well, and she could have had all the water she wanted."
Her mistakes or wrong choices should not affect others and be their plight.
You're a very funny one. Her problems murdered 6 people last night.
There was a misunderstanding of the truth in that part.
Child, death is death. Emma's gonna walk away.
The 5 of you now stand around the well with most of the bodies buried, an extra crossbow, and Winter, as you go to grab some of your things, you notice there is a small book nearby, kind of a brown leather book, small, appearing to be pocket-sized.
Ooh. I'm gonna pick up the book and kind of look around and see if anyone has noticed me picking it up.
Ordell definitely did the thing where he was trying to not be obvious, like he looked over. The second she looks, though, Ordell looks away, and he's going to do like he walks away.
I'm just gonna smile and then kind of run my hands over the book and thumb through the pages.
Roll me an investigation.
That is going to be 14.
14. You do a quick thumb through. The first few pages seem to speak about coming from a small encampment, a bit of fishing, salting of fish, trying to make their way to the coast and make it back. You don't find anything really out of the ordinary with this book. It's just somebody's diary.
I'm going to put it in my bag.
Slide it into the side pocket. Add a survivor's diary to your pack.
Ooh, Survivor's Diary. That's a
Is it
name
really
to it.
Survivors, or
I
is
was
it
gonna say
Survivored?
As the Resident Evil 8 very spooky sound enters whenever you pick up something.
Collect an item.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to flip over the item, and there's a key somewhere in this. I swear, we just got to rotate it for 10 minutes while the controls just go out of.
If we rotate it enough,
Sit
we
there,
might
pan
find
the
a little
item.
marble run inside there. As the 5 of you now stand gathering the rest of your materials, are you wanting to stay here at the well? What are we doing? The sun has risen. It is morning. A cool breeze is on the air, but yet those clouds still remain toiling and moving to the northwest.
East is that way.
Thank you, XC.
I guess east we go.
How many days of food and water do we have? We have 3 now, or 2 lots of water?
You used 1. You had 2 days of food and water before. So you have a day of food and 2 days of water now.
Cool.
Cool.
So I know that for you all, eating isn't really something you have to do, but unfortunately, my stomach is still operational, and so I might need to try and find some food.
We will see about hunting as we travel, and if we get near the coastline, I will fish.
Can we
I hear
see the
gelatinous
coastline?
cubes.
I don't know why everybody is frozen on Streamlabs, but not at all on Discord.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're frozen on the stream itself.
Yeah, that's really odd. I will try and fix this continuously as y'all go.
Will still hear us?
Yeah, it's just your faces are frozen.
Oh,
There we go, fixed it. Just unloaded it, loaded it back up. There we go.
That was terrifying.
has
I
been
think that was the
detected.
scariest thing of this campaign so far.
Well, then I should step it up then. As you all are heading to the east, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Go ahead
That's
and
it.
whoever's leading, roll a survival at advantage. XC, you said you knew where east was, so go ahead and roll me at advantage.
Additionally, Ordell, as part of like the flavor, because I have like the Outlander feature, because I'm not hunting or fishing it, because I realized when we were talking about it earlier how like I can't for like food, but it says specifically if the land is abundant or I can. So like we're in a place where I probably can't, but I'm gonna be just like Ordell's got like a little journal where he's just noting like where we've been. He's making a map as they go, because I can memorize regional stuff.
For sure.
16 on survival.
16. Okay. You're certain you can head to the east, and as you do so, you seem to see one lone mountain kind of standing between you and what must be the coastline off on the side. You could either choose to go directly towards the mountain, or you could head south of the mountain, kind of back towards the gate, or to the north of the mountain. With a lot of excitement and brimming decisions for the robot, where are you telling people to go?
I just pointed east. I'm not telling anyone where to go.
Okay, then if you're heading directly east, you are headed towards the mountain.
Question for you, Rybo. Did we, when we saw the bandits and stuff, did they have like a carriage or anything how they arrived? Like, did they have like anything like that? Wagon or whatever?
Nope, they seem to have been stationed there just at the well, possibly on a patrol, possibly living there. You don't know. There was other things, but most of it was just burnt scraps of things that you couldn't really determine what they might have once been. But nothing large enough to have been a carriage.
Okay. While we're walking, I'm going to specifically look if there's anything abandoned. Even like 4 wheels is what I'm looking for. Anything small or whatever. Because Ordell's like mindset is like we've got 2 people who need to eat and whatnot. And so like energy consumption is probably a thing to be concerned of if we start rationing food. So yeah, he's just thinking like we should find something for Winter and Ashrin to like ride in so that they don't have to be walking as often because their exhaustion is more than the 3 dead people, dead/animated.
Okay. So currently you do not, but I'll make a note of that. So go ahead and roll me a perception for while you're walking to see if you can spot anything like that. As you're all headed to the east and following XC, is there anything you wanted to be doing similar to the way Ordell is looking for something like that?
Just to make sure I'm not leading, I just pointed the direction. Treat me like a compass.
Okay.
I'm still at the back.
Okay. Then you're... Oh, good.
We're just going to be watching like Emma really closely and looking for signs of this weird ass puppet.
And as you do that, Emma just, this is dreadfully boring, and goes back into the ring.
Ashrin, as the unwilling slides into your pocket without your permission, you look down and you hold the ring, and it's kind of suddenly quite cold in your hand before it kind of immediately fades back into the temperature of your hand. You can stuff it back in the pocket, you can put it on, but you do notice the temperature change briefly.
I'm gonna put it on.
Ashrin, you slide it on. Which finger do you put it on?
Middle.
Are you pretty attached to that finger?
Yep.
Good, then it won't fall off. You have a new emerald ring on that you know Emma to be inside.
What a turd. What an absolute turd.
I just was making sure it didn't fall through. I mean, if you're attached to it, then you're good.
Yeah?
That's not bad. XC is pointed to the east. Y'all are currently walking towards a mountain. Are you wanting to go north or south of it?
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah. What's up?
Just making sure it didn't fall through.
What didn't fall through?
Are you,
Oh, the ring?
Are we,
Yeah, because
are we
her finger's
getting-
attached.
yeah. Is he gonna get away with this?
You know what?
Really?
Yeah, he deserves it. That was great.
Yeah, I'm asking a question. As you're currently headed towards a mountain, unless somebody tells me otherwise. Good. To the mountain it is. As everyone moves right on through, I'm not seeing enough GFYs to take that as...
Also, because I'm proud of my roll and I rolled my thing, Knowledge of Past Life, because I rolled good. I was like, I'm going to add it to it anyway. It's a 19 plus 4, so 23, plus another 5, so 28 for looking for something with wheels.
Good to know. As you're looking around, you do not spot any cart or caravan or anything
Fair.
that looks like you would be able to pull your friends around. However, As you all keep walking to the east, semi-aimlessly, towards now appearing just over the horizon, a mountain top that makes its way visible, you do see a few bodies that seem to have made a run for it from that well with arrows in them that have bled out as they've continued to run. They're not far off. You can just see them on hilltops, and it seems that they got more of them than you originally anticipated, as they just seem to have bled out from wounds. These didn't appear to be very healthy people that could take a bolt or an arrow like that very well. Sad sight. It's up to you if you do anything about it, but you do notice that they're there.
Pick the corpses quickly, just like check. This is like Ordell, because like the whole thing is like when he was in his like dumpster, there was the one spot where bodies were just there because he took from them. So I think for Ordell, it's almost like a flip, like very quick, like airport security, just like check bodies thing. And then that's just the thing he does.
Flip them over, do a quick check. Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
14.
14.
13 plus 1.
On one of them, you find a very crudely made brass ring that seems to almost have been pounded with a hammer cold. There's lots of beaten marks along it.
No. I'm gonna pocket it for now.
Okay. You add one crude brass ring to your inventory. As you all keep heading to the east, Exy occasionally corrects people who step out of line from directly east. You say, that's not east, this is east, making sure that they know. They're like, yeah, of course, but you just make sure that they know where east is. You walk for a few hours, probably 5 hours or so, just slowly going along this dusty trail here. You don't really have anything in your way to slow you down, so you're kind of going at a pretty quick pace here. Everything almost is like a paved road because there's hardly anything to stop your forward movement. So this mountain that once was on the horizon after 5 hours or so is now maybe only half a mile away. And at the base of it, you do see a few, depends on if you're glass half full or glass half empty, some half dead or some half alive trees at the bottom of this mountain. It is obstructing your path to the coast. However, the further you move east, the more humid things feel, the more salty the air itself feels, and everything is a bit cooler. As you kind of get that cool morning breeze when you woke up, it's kind of extended itself as you've moved further into the east and gotten closer to the coastline. What are we wanting to do?
Does it look like there's anything on the trees, like any berries or any nuts or...
You could go check it out. You're still about half a mile away. Some of them have leaves that grow halfway up. Some of them only on one half of the tree, right or left. Some of them only just the top half has leaves. Lots of these kind of big, thick, heavy oak trees. Some of them some willow as well. So you're not necessarily certain just from the look of them that you'd be able to find anything. Is anybody proficient in nature?
I think we talked about this last time. No one is.
Okay, just double checking. So offhand, you wouldn't know if you'd be able to find food because of the trees or not. There may be wildlife there.
With like my Outlander background, could I tell? Because I can kind of like determine whether if there's like decent food like in an area.
I'd allow you to roll a survival for that.
Okay. Nat 20.
Natty 20.
Hot dice from the Loki baby. You know what? For funsies, why not knowledge from a past life? Because 24, let's make that a 30, baby.
How many of those can you do per day?
3. So that's my second one.
Just make sure.
So I'm burning through them, but you know.
The signs of life on these trees in this dark, dark world that you now are in is very good. Those trees that you saw before were all dead, save that one apple tree that you now carry over your shoulder on your way here. It's a very good thing. The mountain itself doesn't appear to have much growth on it, but there must be a way for the water to travel down the mountain and be on the base of it where there's enough water to get these trees growing. So there's probably a good chance that there's living creatures here, as they tend to flock to where there's water and where there's trees.
Are there any dead creatures here?
That's a whole different
general
role,
setting?
and you got to get a little closer.
I'm gonna get as close as I can and look for dead people.
Okay. As you all approach the forest at the base of this mountain, as Winter now takes the lead, wanting to look for dead people, very specifically, these trees around you are thick. Their bark itself seems to be falling off. You could almost blow on some of the bark and it would just flow away, like very thin sheets of paper that have just been placed upon the edge of it. Some of them are nothing but bark, and you can see that they're being held up just very tentatively. These trees seem to have adapted and learned to survive and grow with the water here, though the land doesn't want them to. But if they are growing, something is dying here, giving them some sort of nutrients in the soil. Something must be dying here. There's probably some bones in this forest if you'd like to go take a look at it. And I use forest very loosely. You're now at the foot of this mountain. It's maybe about 2, 3 in the afternoon. You can see the mountain goes up pretty tall. It's a fairly large mountain. XC, go ahead and roll me a perception with your mechanic.
Also,
Oh,
while we're-
beautiful.
because, or you do your thing. Sorry.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Cool. 16 plus 7 is 23.
You estimate by looking at this mountain here, you wouldn't be able to shoot there, but if you aimed, knowing how you would have to aim your shot just to get to the side of it, you can roughly estimate the size of this mountain. It's probably about 5 miles in diameter, so it's a decent sized mountain here.
Nice.
Dang.
What were you saying?
So like when Winter, because I could tell like we had the kind of conversation of like Winter's like looking for living or thing. I think like Ordell like kind of points out to Winter like the whole thing with the water that he saw with like basically like how the trees have to grow. I don't really know how like Ordell would word it. But I think like yeah, he's explaining to Winter the whole like survival thing of just like the water runs down from there. That's why like there is like this. So we're gonna check here for food first, and if there's nothing, we might have to either go around or climb up the mountain.
I would really like to find some friends and ask their advice.
What do you mean, friends?
Well, friends, like you and I.
There is not many people like us, Winter. You'll have to be more specific.
Well, not on the surface, but sometimes if you dig a little, and I'm gonna start kind of looking for signs of maybe like burial places or somewhere I might find some juicy dead.
Roll me an investigation. And what is everybody else doing as Winter approaches this bit of trees at the base of the mountain?
I'll just give her advantage, like assist. I'll have it my shovel ready just to start digging. So I'll do the help action.
Emma, Ashford?
I am relaxed on a wonderful pillow, reading a book, chillaxing, having a wonderful time.
Ashford?
You know what? I'm actually going to Divine Sense.
Ooh. Can you explain what Divine Sense does for our viewers?
You get a really nice penny.
Divine Sense, as an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or no location of celestial, fiend, and dead. Not behind hill cover.
And what's the radius for you?
60 feet.
Okay. As you radiate out, you hear the footsteps of everyone around you, trying to take a look and try and find something. You're more focused on just the essence around you. You feel and see a lot of essence from within these trees kind of intertwined between good and evil. A struggle of life of the trees trying to grow from the ground, and the necrotic energy of the land trying to pull it away from these trees. You don't feel anything particularly one way or another besides your friends around you, though they seem to be a mix of both. The ring in your pocket almost burns with dark energy in your hand. Take a look at it. The green flame that you see within Emma's chest burns brightly through the emerald on the tip of the ring. But as far as any immediate danger around you, you don't notice anything. How long does Divine Sense last?
I don't know.
It's a quick use. It's like Witcher Sense, quick like toggle on, and then you can use
Got
it up
it.
to your proficiency mod, I think.
Gotcha. Just making sure. So right around you, there's nothing immediately watching you or aware of your presence in this area. As Winter starts to walk through, XC, you keep a good lookout for everything. What was your investigation roll, Winter?
16.
16.
Did you roll with advantage? Because I helped you.
I did.
Oh.
It was.
Oops.
You're looking around these trees, trying to find anything that would look like some sort of burial site around here. XC, what was your perception?
Did I roll?
Oh, I thought you did.
I did, didn't I? It wasn't that, because that's a better roll. I think it was 23. 16 plus 7, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't that. That's a better roll. This is just 23. Ew, dumb. As-
Just
No.
casual.
I rolled better. I rolled like a 19 then. I was like,
oh,
I'm not
okay,
gonna
gotcha.
ramp it up higher. That's not fair.
As Winter, you look on the ground. You're not too familiar with tracking, but you know what typical burial sites look like. Trying to look around, trying to find something. You see one fairly large tree that seems to have most of its bark stripped away. You notice there's some etching on the side of this tree where the bark used to be, carved into it. A small leaf seems to be carved in with a knife, the shape of a leaf. As XC, you hear the shake of a tree and a loud footstep in the distance. As seems like a solid place to stop, take a quick little break. It's 8:02. When we come back at 8:10, take about a 7-10 minute break. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you enter the giveaway right when we get back. We'll make sure to do it. So we're just going to go jump right into it to enter for those blind dice giveaway of this amazing gemstone touched by Alex, possibly a Charizard in there. I don't know. We'll see what we can find, but we'll be back in about 7-8 minutes at 8:10. We'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. If you didn't get your dice vote in, too bad. Lena, go ahead and do the giveaway for the first one, but it's not too bad because you can immediately enter right afterwards for dice giveaway number 2 from Lud. Those blind dice bags are looking so good. JC playing, congratulations. You can be playing with your new Lud dice. Woo, yeah, awesome. See what I did there? See what I did? You win it. Congratulations. We're going to continue on. Make sure that you do enter for the second one. Maybe you'll even win twice, JC. I don't think that's happened yet. I'm still waiting for that day. But let's continue right on. As XC, you hear loud footsteps in a tree kind of shake in the distance to the north of where you're at.
Like loud, like.
Like, think the very first time the T-Rex takes a step in Jurassic Park. It's not necessarily that big, but that's about the sound that you get.
All right, I'm gonna. Good question. Warning. Approaching, and I point in that direction.
What's approaching, XC?
Unknown, large.
Large as in me large or bigger?
You hear another footstep that seems to be getting closer, and you hear another rustling of a tree.
I take an involuntary step backwards. Bigger?
Noted.
Because I've been kind of like investigating with Winter at this point. Ordell is gonna like almost like second nature. I'm gonna grab like Winter by her backpack and like put her on Ordell's shoulder, like Kratos Atreus style.
We are moving forward and we are moving now.
Winter,
I don't want to find out what that is.
as you're getting
I
pulled
think
up, you
that the
notice
dead
you notice that the ground beneath seems to have been exhumed and replaced at some point. There's something buried at that spot.
But I want to see the dead thing. Is it just quick? Just very quick. Just a
Very,
quick
very quick. And I put her back down. The second I grab you, though, we leave and we come back here if we can. Ashrin and Exie, keep eyes out on the horizon if you can see anything.
I'm gonna.
As
Winter.
it approaches, I'm going to continue to walk backwards, so I'm keeping it roughly the same sort of distance. So I guess if it gets to the party, I'll be at a distance, if that makes sense.
Okay, sounds good. Winter, what are you doing?
I wanna start just
Digging?
hands deep in the dirt digging.
Okay. The dirt is still pretty loose here. It wasn't packed down with much force, so it's not terribly hard for you to dig. But let's go ahead and get an athletics to see how quickly you can do this.
Zoe says hello.
Hi, Zoe.
Let me juggle things.
Juggle it.
That's a 2 plus stuff, but probably not enough.
As
Yeah. Plus nothing.
You try and dig, your backpack keeps sliding off of you and on your hand, and you don't dare to take it off because you know you're going to have to go in just a moment as something approaches. You try and dig faster, but it just kind of keeps happening, and you're kind of torn between. It's going to take you a while to dig through this at this rate. So you're really deciding whether you're going to stay and see what comes or get up and leave.
I'm going to keep trying it for as long as I'm allowed.
Ashrin, what are you doing?
Was I not keeping a lookout on the horizon?
I was actually gonna ask, Ashrin, are you wearing like leathers or metal? Like, what is Ashrin wearing?
Armor that is. Oh, let me double check. I think it's chain. Nope. A chain shirt. So chain shirt, but I think for flavor it's like metal, like. Can't think of the word.
On cloth.
Pauldrons. Yep.
Okay, then what I was thinking, I was gonna help Ashrin up into a tree, but Ashrin is wearing heavy metal, and that would only go poorly. Never mind. Do your thing.
Can I guess how far away roughly it is, Ryan?
Make an intelligence check.
You know what? I'm
Ashrin,
not bad
what
at
are you
that.
wearing tonight?
That's a 16.
16. It's not terribly far. Maybe about 100 feet from you at this point.
Approaching perimeter. Can't see anything though, can we?
No. Ashrin, you said you were looking for the horizon, but XC has told everyone that something is coming. So what are you doing as a result?
Okay. Not being a caster is so weird. I think all I can do is just prep for a battle. I have no clue. I'm just gonna be on guard and get my rapier out.
Okay, sounds good.
Wait.
As you wait, Winter continues to dig into the dirt. Ordell, you kind of look at Winter and look at the trees, waiting to see something approach. XC, you begin to see one tree now shake. Not only here, you see it shake, and as such, you kind of point it out to Ordell, who can see it as well. Must be about 60 feet away from you at this point.
And I'm about probably 60 feet away from Ordell by now.
I'm sorry, Winter. We will have to dig here later.
Okay. But we'll come back.
We'll do our best.
And I'm gonna grab Winter, and Ordell's gonna start hauling ass the other way. Just running, indicating to everyone because this is coming from the north, or is this coming from up on the mountain?
It's coming from the north, so Ordell or XC has been moving to the south.
We're moving southeast around the mountain as fast as we can. Agreed?
Great.
Ashrin, do you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You begin running. You're trying to haul ass, you said, Ordell, correct?
I'm assuming if it's within 60 feet, we have lost the element of stealth. So yes.
Okay. As Ordell, with his big giant body, begins bounding, and Ashrin, your kind of metal shirt makes kind of the kind of clanking noises as y'all are going through. You're not subtle about this. As such, XC, you kind of watch them, and as soon as they begin to move, you see a hand grip one of the large trees from the other side. A large bone hand, grasp a tree like a club as it seems to kind of use it to pull itself forward. You can hear.
Do they look like they're out of immediate range of an attack or something along those lines?
You'd have to get a better vantage point of it or wait for it to appear between the trees.
I don't mean for me. I'm talking about like, is it?
Oh yeah,
so
they're
close
not
that
going to
they
be able
keep-
to hit them. They're 60 feet away, and then Ordell starts running. This thing doesn't seem to be moving very fast.
Okay. Well, then I will start trying to stay slightly ahead of Ordell and the group until they catch up, and then
Okay.
I'll take my usual point.
Y'all basically are running to the southeast to try and go around the mountain on the bottom half, correct? Okay.
Is Winter walking, or are you?
Ordell said he
or
picked
am
you
I
up.
being carried?
I carried you because I have a strength score high enough that I could probably carry 2 party members. Yeah.
Sorry, Zoe's inputting
Zoe.
her
Hi,
opinion.
Zoe.
And so if I'm looking over his shoulder, can I see this creature?
None of you can see the creature yet because you've been going so fast. You kind of seem to be just out of the way of it. XC, you just saw its large hand grab the tree, but since you've been moving quickly, you've lost sight of it. You could stop and try and stealth and take a look, but until you tell me otherwise, you're running away fast to the southeast. Okay. As you all continue to, quote, haul ass, you go and get closer to the mountain and rush through the trees. What sounded like large footsteps before XC, you now recognize to be the hand grasping the trees. The sheer force of it makes a kind of thump into the ground as it drags something along behind it. But eventually, you do not hear that anymore, and you keep moving to the southeast. As you're looking around, trying to find ways, just maneuvering between all of the trees here, you guys go for some time, eventually about a half an hour before you finally think, okay, it's not immediately nearby. Brie gets her point of inspiration and hands the baby off. It's not immediately nearby. You could easily stop and slow your pace down, or if you want to stay well ahead of this thing, you could continue this pace and just try and get out of this mountain area.
We need to check this area for food. If we just run past this mountain, this is the most life we've seen yet. Even though that creature is nearby, we need to find something.
The thing's huge, but if we don't find food here, we may not find it anywhere.
All right.
What is
Ashwin,
What is it? What's following us?
I didn't see, but whatever it was, XC pointed out it's large. And if something is large, those have large appetites, and I don't plan on dying here.
It's
Very large.
grabbing the trees like clubs.
Like,
Okay.
giant?
I
like-
thought I saw/heard a stone hand grabbing trees like clubs.
A stone hand.
I might have misheard/seen.
XC saw.
Interesting.
Was I?
Are you sure it wasn't a bone hand?
The only person that saw anything, I believe, was XC.
I'd say Winner
psych,
wouldn't know to
sorry.
correct.
Yep.
Because
So,
Winter would be very excited if she knew it was a big bone hand.
Would.
irrelevant information.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I guess we look. We look for food.
I
Yeah,
think
can we
it'd be best.
turn and hide behind another set of trees or something? Or I don't know. Is there any cover at all?
Oh, there's plenty of trees around here that you could hide behind, or you could go up into the mountain if you'd like. You've been running for half an hour. You're getting to be close to the south side of the mountain.
We want to get to the east side of the mountain near the coastline. So I think if we start to make some elevation, it could be our best bet because there was running water on the mountain, correct?
There was no active running water, but possibly when it rains, it must run down somewhere.
I do prefer elevation.
I agree.
All right. Then let's move up the mountain. We'll continue to move east as much as we can. But let's keep a slower pace so we can at least see if there's any berries, briar bushes. If you see anything that is life, point it out to me.
Okay.
I'm not the best at finding things that are alive.
Then find things that are dead. Find us kindling for the night. Don't focus on the weakness. Focus on where you're strong.
Winter's going to point out everything that she sees that's dead.
As you're going up the mountain and kind of going to the east to get some elevation on here, Winter points out every tree as you go by, saying, "Is that? I mean, it's technically possibly dead. It's half dead, I would say. So is that one. So is that one. So is that one. So is that one. There is a dead rose right there. There's a few dead patches of grass over here. As you continue to go up, if you're looking for kindling, there are some fallen branches here, but I'm sure you could just snap off any of these. They look to be pretty dry as you go on and continue up the mountain." It's not a very steep climb here. It's going to be kind of a slow exponential climb as you go up this mountain. But as you're kind of taking your steps up, you do get some height to where you could actually see the tree line from above now. There's no longer any trees from where you're at. You can see down through the trees that you just ran through. You're maybe about, in the time it takes you to go up this, you'd be about 200 feet higher than you were before, through slowly moving up into the east. Ordell, roll me a survival check, and everybody else roll me a perception check. Actually, Winter, I need an investigation from you since you're looking for dead things.
Is this pertaining to looking for food and stuff? Because I think
For
I'm going to use my
hunting.
last point if it is. For hunting? Okay, I'm going to use my last point for knowledge from a past life. Another nat 20. Loki dice rolling hot. Let's go, Drew.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Solid. Winter, what was your
Those nails.
investigation?
So what was happening
Um,
with those dice cans?
Right.
I will get my own, you know.
Can we take a second to appreciate Jake's nails? Can I see those again? Have you got like decals?
They're a little sparkly. They're starting to fade now. But yeah, they're sparkly boys.
Oh,
Pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to get them redone.
Dope.
I thought you had little drawings.
Nope, that's just
not
them
a-
chipping away.
not a challenge for next week or anything. That was a 22 on my find dead things.
Ashrin, Exy, for your perceptions.
Ah, there you go. They're mine.
Ooh.
Wait.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Dabba-dee-abba-die.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
shot.
Alex wins.
For the convention we
Alex
went to.
wins.
8 plus perception, right? 15 in total.
15, Ashrin.
23.
23. Exy, you're more focused on immediately following up behind you, making sure that nothing is following you up this mountain. Ashrin, you're kind of taking in the sights and looking back the way that you came. Winter, you don't find anything dead nearby. You are certain that there are no corpses, except you do find some kindling from some trees, some bark that has fallen off, been carried up by birds or whatever through here. Ordell, you find very specifically in one of the cracks and crevices here, droppings that look to be like a goat, based on being this high up, probably mountain goat. It's a very good sign that you might be able to find specifically that here in this mountain range. Exy, you look back, you're not currently being followed, but Ashrin, looking back where you came, quite far in the distance, but you do see some of the trees continually shaking as you go by. But as you're looking in the distance, you also see and notice one of the trees glows a brilliant, bright green, flashing upwards like a beacon in the sky as you begin to see some leaves grow off of its dead branches in the distance before the light quickly fades away.
Did anyone else see that?
See what?
Was it a dead tree?
A tree, yes.
There's a dead one there, and another one over there.
But there was a dead one that just grew life from it.
Are you sure
Can-
it's dead?
Can we see the tree?
You pointed
I
out, but
pointed
there's
out.
nothing bright or glowing or green. It's just a field of trees that Ashrin points out.
But that one
You
was
may
glowing,
need to
I
get your
swear.
ocular implant checked.
Scratching.
Emma pops out of the ring at hearing about this because I can hear through the ring. Emma pops out with a book. She closes the book and says, "I believe you."
That is why you made your dramatic ring entrance to say that you believe your friend.
Yes, it's a good
None
book
of us-
too. And Emma passes the book over to Ordell, and it's just bones and how to make them into broth.
This actually, surprisingly, might be useful soon. I think. Do any of you, aside from me, know how to use a crossbow or a bow and arrow?
Mm.
Do
Looking at
any
my
of you
arm.
have a crossbow or bow and arrow?
Negative.
No.
Ordell sighs audibly as he realizes he is the only I'm going to take the heavy crossbow. I'm going to place my bag and things down.
All right. I am going to follow this trail of droppings then, because the slightest sound could scare these. I'm going to try and kill as many mountain goats as I can, even if I only come back with one.
I can help you kill goats.
I could burn them.
I don't want them burned, unfortunately. These need to be
Seems-
killed quietly and quickly.
This crossbow, and I'm just going to do like a test shot because I know I can get it from the dirt. Just show that like the only sound is like the thwip.
Are you shooting and just directly into the rock of the mountain below your feet?
Oh, is it rock? I thought we were on like a dirt kind of area. Okay,
Oh,
if
no,
we're not,
you're-
then I'm not going
Yeah,
to.
you're going up the mountain now.
Okay, well, I'm going to, without a bolt loaded, then I'm going to show that it only makes a sound of like a twanging thing so they know like it's quiet.
Go ahead and roll me a percentile as you dry fire
God.
the crossbow.
While Ordell is loading the crossbow up, I'm just going to turn to Emma really quickly and just go, is that considered cannibalism? Bone broth, boiling bone, for you.
Well, if I could eat, probably. But as you can see, and Emma opens up, it's just like bones. Can't really eat or drink.
With that same green flame that you saw before, Ashrin.
86, by the way.
80. Okay. You hear a loud thunk, and it's not a good sound from the crossbow. It seems to be fine, but you don't want to keep dry firing a bow.
I know. Also, I know they
Also-
don't break if you dry fire them once.
Also, since I haven't actually done this, well, I
It
did
did
a
go
description
through a
of the shot.
fireball. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
I did do a description of the shot in the first episode, but then Ryan did it in the second one. My rifle's not super loud, but
Oh, it doesn't make like gunshot. Oh, okay. If your gun's not super loud, then yeah, XC's coming
I
with
mean,
you.
it,
Then
it
I
makes-
assumed it was like bang, like a gun.
it was when I had the wells. So I don't know what happened there, but unless Ryan vetoes that, but it's meant to be quite a
Yeah,
stealthy sort of.
it makes
It was a cinematic bang.
it makes a decent musket style chunk, not like firing a regular gun today, but like an older musket. Like,
Okay.
you'll still hear it. There are attachments you might be able to get XC to make it more quiet.
Oh, there's some pit missing there that used to be there probably.
Of course.
Got it. I'm with you.
Then what we'll do, XC, is you and I will try and get as many as we can. You seem to be a better shot than I am, so whatever we can kill, we'll bring back.
Affirmative.
If I can't burn them, what if I just touch them till they're dead, and then I make some little shapes with my hands, and like a mirror hand escapes from my palm, and it's like a crawling spider, green, bony hand that starts to dance on its own, and then goes.
One day
Back
I
in-
will adopt you.
Does your magic have residual effects on a creature passing?
It makes them slightly less alive than they were before.
I mean, does it make them decompose faster, have ill effects on the body, or burn?
It does necrotic damage. Can you eat something that's been?
Yeah, as long as it's not been poisoned, right? Right?
I mean, Rybo, is that a thing?
Have you ever tried it?
Well,
I
we don't have
mean-
necrotic energies in real life.
We're
right,
about to
bro?
find out.
It's first
No,
for everything.
my-
I say try new things in life, personally. That's just a motto I live by.
My mom did say that when I was younger. You have to try it at least once, and if you don't like it, you never have to try it again.
Exactly.
Please let me pat the goats.
Fine, but we'll try and kill one without necrosis just in case.
Okay.
It's a good go.
All right.
So
Ashrin
Emma,
and-
Winter, and Ordell are going to hunt for mountain goats, as Exy and Ashrin are staying behind. Is that what I'm hearing, or is everybody going?
I think I'll stay behind then if there's 3 people already going for goats.
Ashrin?
Yeah, I'll probably stay behind too.
Okay. Emma, Winter, and Ordell begin climbing up further to the east and going higher on this mountain. It's not a terrible climb, but every now and again you do need to use a hand to be able to go up further. But it's not just straight climbing, just kind of for balance. All 3 of you go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Survival. Blood dice. 18.
Ordell, do it at advantage
Plus
with your nat 20
4.
from before.
18 plus 4.
Ooh.
22.
That means you
That went
score.
That went from being a 10 total to a 22 total. 18 plus 4.
Look
Winter?
at us, 22s.
Dang.
All of you actually do quite good at this. Ordell, luckily finding the droppings. Mountain goats do not just generally do one little pellet and walk away. It's pretty easy to follow the trail here, and there's not really much to go on other than this crack and crevice in the rock. So you follow it up for a while. Eventually, to about 20 minutes or so of climbing up a little bit further, you do see a shadow where the sun seems to be getting lower in the day move across you, and you look up, and seeming to be on a small peak here within the mountainside stands 3 mountain goats about 100 feet away from you.
So I'm going to speak lowly to both of them.
So, with hunting, first off, whatever we kill, we use. We don't waste. Secondly, if something is suffering, you end it quickly.
And I have extra daggers. I'm going to give one to Emma and Winter.
Try and
I
get
don't
it.
need one, thank you. And she waves her tail with the moon dagger on the tip.
Okay,
Actually, I have one too.
that doesn't surprise me.
I put my daggers away.
So, what you're going to try and aim for is chest and legs. If you aim for the head, it's too zealous and you will likely miss. If it starts to run away and is bleeding out, use your dagger and end its life quickly. All right.
And could we not just scare them our way?
You can, but that could lead to injury or other adverse things. It is up to you. We could surround them if you would like.
Oh,
They-
well, we could surround them with other things, and Emma waves her hands as 3 wolves appear around the group.
What spell are you casting?
Silent image.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, if you cast Conjure Creature, that's a different discussion. As suddenly 3 illusory wolves. Are you trying to intimidate these goats by any chance?
No, they are around us
Correct.
at the moment. In the future, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
So if we put 3 on behind them and scare them towards us, then we have food that comes to us. I'm just saying.
Well,
Seems simpler.
that would be better than using my crossbow.
I could pat them from pretty far away. And then they can't get away from my patting. It follows them.
All right. Why don't we try? You're scaring them towards us. Then, if you want to pat one of the goats, it will slow it down. The goats that come to us head on, I will try and kill quickly with my maul.
I don't know if the padding's going to happen very quickly.
I mean, they'll be running, so we'll see what happens. And if it doesn't kill them quickly by the time they get to us, I will do my best to end them.
Okay.
As the three of you make this plan, pause there. Ashrin and Exy, you sit and watch your partners move further up the mountainside and take a look out, watching where you came from and watching the forest. As Ashrin, you point out where the trees continue to move. Exy, you recognize the tree moving just like it did before, and you can guess that that creature is still moving in y'all's direction. You don't necessarily know if it saw you or not, but it still seems to be grasping at trees as it moves.
Did you see that?
I was just gonna ask you the same question. I'm sorry, how do you see? Is it color? Is it black and white?
I do not understand the question.
Color. I'm not sure how to pose it actually.
What is color?
Shades of light that reverberate off of objects and things and beings.
I see no movement of this color.
Color doesn't usually move, it just is.
Unable to process.
Right. So not knowing really what else to talk about with Exy. Yeah, so that's the tree. Can you zoom? Can you see closer? Like that's the tree. It's dead, but now there's new leaves on it.
Simple function of zoom is to move object closer to Oculus.
Yes.
I actually goes down and picks up a rock and brings it closer to his face. Zoom.
No. Oculus sensor move on its own closer.
Actually sort of grabs his eye, moves around for a bit. It looks like he's trying to pull it out to bring it closer.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Oh, no. Dude, we don't have anyone that can fix you here.
You
Don't
see
do
a few
that.
sparks coming from the socket.
Oh, no. Don't, please don't. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Okay.
Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. Again,
Exy,
at
do
a
you
loss
still
for what
hold
to
the
say.
eye in your hand?
I pop it back in.
Okay. As Ashrin, you've never seen this happen before. This is kind of interesting to you. The wires in there, as he moves the eye closer, seem to magnetically connect back into socket and pull the eye in the rest of the way in. And you hear a large kind of humming as he places it back in his socket.
Oh. Interesting.
Can you zoom your Oculus?
No.
I can help, and I sort of come to reach towards her face.
Oh no.
I don't operate. I'll take a couple steps back. I don't operate that way. I'm flesh and blood.
Biological.
But
I
thank
understand.
you.
I apologize.
No worries. She's going to take a step back just in case. Wait, so what do you do for like fun then?
Fun. Please input more information.
Emotions of joy?
Emotions were eradicated when Soul was placed in for military purposes.
When what was placed in?
Soul function.
So,
Soul is energy for me to operate.
so if we find you a new soul,
I already have soul. It makes me operate.
but are you happy?
Happy. Do not understand concept.
You're more complex than I thought.
Correct. I have many wires and servos.
So, what's your earliest memory, Exie?
You see sort of like this um, blank look sort of happen as if maybe he's looking into himself. A few seconds go by. Earliest memory is operating date of, oh gosh, I haven't got the date handy. Crap. GFY coming in. 12/27 date, and gives a date. Rybo will fill that in later for me. Operating structure, attempting to test Oculus for first time, confirmed.
Would have been in the 3950s.
Thank you.
I was like 3,000 years. Wow. Because we're in the year
Right into the
4150, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Wow. Yeah. And she's just gonna, where she is, she'll just put her chin on her hand like this. And she'll just look at like his joints and wires combining all together and like,
That is very interesting pose. Can you explain why you do this?
thinking. I don't process as fast as you, so this helps me think.
Understood. Will input pose into thinking in the future.
Cool. Oh, do you know any bad words?
Terrible is another bad word for bad.
Oh, you know, when bad stuff happens, people say bad words.
Or else stand up
Correct.
straight.
Someone's playing with the thermostat.
Bad words are said when bad things happen, like good words are
Yes.
said when good things happen.
So when you like, get hurt maybe, or one of your friends gets hurt,
I usually say, I have been hurt.
and there's a quicker way to say that.
I have been hurt.
Damn it.
Sorry, that one got me. I was not expecting just faster. Point of inspiration for both of you. Got me.
Damn it. It's a starting word for you.
XC, roll me a history check.
Will do. History is +1. That's 16.
16. As Ashrin says, damn it. You now know what type of bad word she's talking about. You were built by dwarves, after all.
All right. I will. Understood. Damn it. Compute. And then I will release a series of 15 different words that I won't repeat because I want to keep my Twitch channel going forevermore in fill the blanks.
I haven't heard that one before. That one's good.
That is very interesting. I was informed it involved 2 dwarves, a rolling machine, and 14 onlookers.
Okay. That one broke me.
XC, though, you're not allowed to say that last one. It's 4150. Get with the times.
Also,
Not
let's
okay.
just talk about the person who made XE clearly fucks then in this universe, right? Canonically of what XE just described.
Party.
If I hadn't already
I-
given an inspo for this RP conversation, just continue.
That's a new one to me. I did not know that's what the origination of that came from.
I have been programmed to demonstrate if required.
You know what? We'll hold off on that for now. We'll just wait till everyone else comes back, I think. Witnesses?
We may require at least 9 more people.
XC don't get out of bed for less than 14 people.
I'm breaking myself.
What is this one person? Am I just now 18?
And you know what? The first thing we're going to do when we come upon a group of people is that you're just immediately going to show us that demonstration.
I may need to require further protocols.
Sure,
Ash-
we can talk about it when we get there.
Understood.
As Ashrin thinks she's going to teach XC some very naughty words, and does a few. XC teaches many back, and Ashrin plugs a memory away for her later, just as XC does, that she will try and use to her advantage. As both of you are talking, you hear the shaking and the grasping in the trees get a bit closer. Now, having crossed the path where you once were, as you're now elevated, you can see from above and at an angle into the trees. You see a long bony arm seem to drag itself along the tree and across the ground. You can't see much of the rest of its body, but you see a large rib cage and a spine before it disappears behind the trees, seeming to pull the entirety of its extremely large body along the ground.
And it's still approaching us, correct?
It's not going towards you. It seems to be going as if you would have continued along the tree path.
It seems the threat has continued and not followed us.
Was it Boney you said, Rybo, or
Boney.
Boney?
And he's like, no, I went to the wrong thing.
I'm gonna keep an eye out and probably watch out for what the tracks look like, which I'm sure the tracks will be easy to find. But good thing we took the elevation.
Affirmative.
As we go back to Emma, Winter, and Ordell, you're going to begin to hunt these three mountain goats. Looking at them, their horns seem to be a bit more corkscrew than a typical ram's horn. They probably lap over themselves 3 times before peering off to the edge. Meaning, if they were a regular ram, it would be a very high prize to mount on the wall.
Can I pat now?
Once the illusions are up and they are running, yes.
I have to get 40 feet closer.
Winter helps count out 40 feet by using minor illusion to create 40 feet.
I sort of thought you were going to be like 1, 2, 3. But
Just-
that is helpful.
40, like 7 feet.
Okay.
that are, like,
Are you
walking
trying to
one
be
after the other.
stealthy as you're approaching?
I'm going to make sure that they stealth with me because I know I am not scaring these off.
For very different reasons. Ordell, upon this stealthy approach, they are higher than you and you are giant. You are at disadvantage. Winter, you are
That's
making
fair.
illusory feet. Disadvantage. Emma, are the wolves currently out?
Oh no, I can't put them out until I'm 60 feet away from them.
No
So the
disadvantage.
feet are full.
So, everybody roll me. a
Seven.
You're
stealth.
100 feet, right?
You're trying to get closer to where you're 60 feet away, is my guess, correct?
Still a 16, 12. Would have been an 18 plus 4, but it's a. Or sorry, no. Actually, wait. No, sorry, 14. It's not plus 4. It's plus 2. So 14. Yeah.
Winter, Emma?
21,
21.
22, 23, 24.
Oh, saying it out loud. Emma?
I did cast guidance on myself, as I'm saying right now, with a 14 plus 2 plus 3, so a 19.
Okay. As
To
Emma and
confirm that
Ordell
was a 6.
kind of move to the side and go pretty slowly. Emma, you're trying to slowly gauge out about how far you need to be to these things before you can cast the spell. Winter, 1, 2, as you go up, you attract the attention of one mountain lion that seems to make a meh sound. However, it's much deeper than you were expecting. It's very, very deep and guttural as you look up at it. This mountain is sloped. The sun, being that it's behind them, might have played a bit of a trick on your eyes. You're not as close as you thought. And those rams are a bit bigger than you thought.
Giant goats.
The three of them look in your direction and kind of stomp their feet and pull it back and kind of do that goat thing where they kind of keep rearing their heads back. One of them even gets on its hind legs and stamps on its ground, trying to intimidate you away from their spot on the side of this mountain here.
Fine. I'm gonna stand in front of them. Both of you behind me. We're going to follow these the old-fashioned way.
I am going to step forward, and as Ordell does, he's going to take off his poncho and throw it to the side and through all of his scars. I'm going to rage for the first time. As Ordell does, all of his stitches and scars start to illuminate in gold, and the large scar in his chest of a heart starts to beam with light, and Ordell's eyes glow this like bright yellow. As my radiant rage goes through, and yeah, I'm gonna run up, and if this goat's challenging me, I'm gonna just slam dunk with them all.
Ordell begins to charge, and as you're moving closer, the three of them will charge as well. Winter, Emma, what do you do as a reaction? Not a reaction, but what are you doing as this is happening?
And I cast my I cast my patting hand, which others might know as chill touch.
Chill touch. So, chill touch's range is, remind me?
120 feet.
Okay. And Emma, what are you doing?
I was prepared to do an illusion. And Emma stands there and now looks at this glowing man, this glowing giant thick man. And that's about all that's gonna happen, because Emma was prepared to cast an illusion, but that's not needed anymore.
As Emma sits there just kind of in shock for a moment, three of them countercharge Ordell. Winter, before that makes it there, you are able to do a chill touch, so go ahead and roll one chill touch attack on them to see if you could slow one of them down.
10.
As your cold, frosty hand tries to grab one of them by the shoulder, it kind of does that animal instinctive thing where it just kind of hops up and it kicks with its hind leg your hand out of the air and continues to charge down the mountain. So,
Ew.
Ordell, what we're going to do, since you are challenging the three of these, what you just appear to look like giant goats, giant rams, as they bow their heads down and come down the mountain as you go up to attack them. Being that you're alone, we're going to have you do a strength check. You have advantage because you are raging against the three of theirs.
Okay. Now, theoretically, Rybo, if I roll 2 natural 20s, is there any cool that happens?
Theoretically?
Theoretically, with my +6 in athletics and 2 natural 20s, and I'll take another picture of this. Drew weighted these dice.
Drew weighs dice because this is redundant.
By the way, pre-show, I rolled of just like talking about the new dice, and I rolled 2 nat 20s and I dropped it in the group chat. Drew weighs his dice. Buy him here. You can get them at a store. Magnificently weighted. They're perfect. They're great. Yeah. Anyway, 26.
26.
Don't roll them for death saves though. They don't do good for death
Yeah.
saves.
No. No. Do not. If how is a telling of that, do not ever burn them for death saves.
With 2 nat 20s, I'll allow you to roll one more 20 and add just that, no extra strength score to your strength.
Okay. No extra strength score, so 16.
An extra 16, so 26, 16, 42.
Well, when you put it that way, yes.
That's against their group strength check. So,
Oh boy.
as the three of them rush down the mountain, 2 of them slam into you as you hold them all up right against their horns and you barely move. All of you can feel the ground shake between as these rams just slam into the side of this heavy stone mall as Ordell is just angry at them. His tattoos begin to glow heavily. However, The third one jumps and leaps over them and slams into you with its horns, sending you flying backwards. I do need a dexterity save to see if you're able to land on your feet.
Because I can see them all and I'm watching them. This would be an advantage because danger sense, yeah?
Danger sense is for traps, correct?
No, it's anything, any dex saves against something I can see.
Okay, then yes.
Advantage, they're both 16s, plus, do I have proficiency in dex? 18 total.
Okay. You are able to land on your feet. However, this ram sends you flying down the mountain, about 40 feet down. Not just straight down, but it's 40 feet out and over. So you're going to take some damage from that bludgeoning.
Okay.
So that is 14 points of bludgeoning damage, which
Okay.
Barbarian you can half.
It's not magical, right? Okay, yeah.
As these three rams kind of sit there and they hold their hooves back and kick once more in a display of intimidation, trying to get you to go back down the mountain. What do the three of you do in
going
response?
right back up.
Okay, winner, Emma.
Is this when we scream in their ears?
Do you think it would help?
We sound like wolves.
I can do my best, Wolf.
Yeah, we'll try. Message wolf scream.
What was that one more time?
You might cut it out.
Oh yeah, it cut out there. I didn't hear it the second time.
Hey! Very good.
Okay. So we'll say that this is allowing you to try and do an intimidation at range. So both of you roll your intimidation.
Oh, we're so intimidating. No! My blood dice. It is gone.
17.
17. Okay.
And my intimidation is +3, so a 16.
Okay. As the three of them charge, one of them seems to kind of lose its footing and scuttle as it looks to the side and kind of slows down. You prevented one of them from joining in on the group strength check against Ordell. Ordell, two of them rush towards you once more. Let's go ahead and do another group strength check.
Okay. Still at advantage because rage, yeah?
Yeah.
Not as insane, but still 16 plus 6, 22.
Okay. That does not beat their 43. As you are once
Fair.
again slammed down the mountain. As you're going to take more damage and keep getting pushed down. They are now, Ordell slams and lands next to Winter and Emma as you've gotten pushed down further again.
Hey, Winter, I think this is when we burn.
You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as you get hit and fall. You're preventing them from just absolutely avalanching over the three of you. But doing this on your own is very difficult. These are mountain goats of a particular size. Let's see.
Is there a way, because I have tavern brawlers, so like slamming them, is there any way like I can like hit like while I'm doing anything, or like hit them with my maul or anything? Because I know I'm like bracing myself against them, but is there any way I can like is them clashing with me hurting them at all, like, or am I just like stopping them from
Big thick ram skulls. This is kind of this isn't combat so much as this is stopping things until you all make it combat.
Okay.
If you want to try and attack, you can do so. Let me
Oh
know
yeah,
if you
no,
do.
the first time I ran, when I said I'm gonna slam dunk the horns, that's why I was going for, yeah.
Okay, then you will not be able to brace yourself against them as well. Just FYI.
Yeah, I guess I will start after this then. Say I've been bracing myself. But yeah, Ordell's gonna start swinging pretty soon.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So, Ordell, you rush up at them once again. The three of them come rushing back down. Winter, Emma, what are you doing?
It's time for fire.
Fire? And
Mhm.
I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Oh, interesting. As Emma pulls down the shirt a little bit, I'm doing that too. And I'm also casting Scorching Ray.
Yeah.
One on each
well.
or all three on one?
One on each.
Yeah. Look
Okay,
at us.
go ahead and roll your 3 hits. As Ordell, you rush up to hit them.
Green flames fly from everywhere. I'll let you go first. You go first, Winter.
Okay, so the first one is going to be 9.
Does not hit.
Not so good. Then 19.
To save time,
Uh,
let me know how many of them hit above a 16 for both of you.
2.
2.
One a natural 20, and so 2 hit, 1 with a natural 20.
Okay, and so 1 miss, correct?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. Okay. Both of you, which one are you hitting first? So which one missed for you, Emma? The third one?
The second one
Okay.
was the miss.
And it was Winter's first
the
one.
third
Was the
one
miss.
was
Okay.
the nat 20.
All 3 of them get hit by something. Go ahead and roll me damages.
My first
Winter?
one's 8.
Okay.
My first one was 7.
The second one?
And 6.
6.
And I missed the second one.
Third one?
And third one, 22.
Okay. So, as Ordell, you rush up to fight them. 2 of them get hit by a blast of fire, and it kind of causes them to stumble and move at a bit of a disadvantage here on their strength rolls against you. One of them, however, gets pelted in the side.
You hear a grunt from Emma just...
As a jet of flame hits one of them in the side, you can see a scar move up along it, and it seems to fall and land in the rocks. It's still up, but it completely stops this turn, and it seems to be crippled almost by the flame. Ordell, strength check.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm not gonna beat whatever they roll, but so plus. Or wait, is this strength like athletics or flat strength? By the way,
Athletics.
athletics. Okay. So that is 21.
So their disadvantage that Winter and Emma imposed on them very mattered. That was a nat 20 and a 2, and a nat 20 and a 6. So Ordell goes up and, tired of just stopping them, pulls his maul back like a bat and hits them on their ram's skull like a building. And Ordell, with your ability of your particular weapon, these things are much like stone structures on their horns.
Oh,
you
God.
crack a horn off of each of them that land onto the ground. Very Monster Hunter-y, as the 2 of them go flying up the mountain and take damage as well. Okay.
Emma holds up a fist to Winter.
As the goats go flying upward and dust flies, 2 of their horns being left here, they land and go running off, scurried and scared. The one that got hit by the scorching ray of a critical nature tries to get up, but it kind of stumbles in its hand, or as it moves there. Ordell, Winter,
Message
Emma?
to Ordell. Food.
Yeah.
Ordell's
Is,
gonna.
is this
After you.
is this when you use the knife?
Yes. Not Winter, Emma, come here. I'm going to show you how to do this properly. As this is a scary place, and we will have to hunt, and we'll all have to take turns for this.
Stab it in the eye.
Do not stab it in the eye.
And Ordell's gonna go like basically show like right under the neck rib cage area above the heart, and just like
With the dagger, you just push it through, and you cover its eye with with your hand, so it doesn't see you do this.
As you get next to it, it is a cornered animal here, and its death throw.
kind of figured.
It is going to try and headbutt you once again, so just roll me a strength check, or another athletics.
19 this time, so 25.
As it tries to get up, you grab around the horn and just lay on the ground and force its head to the ground.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna push the dagger in coup de grace or whatever the extent is.
Winter, Emma, you see Ordell stab into right beneath the neck of this creature, beginning to bleed it out slowly.
We could use this blood, could we not?
And I'm gonna kind of grab one of the empty water skins.
If you wish to find a use for it, feel it.
I grab out the 2 that I had found.
Oh,
You fill up 2 water skins of ram blood, correct?
That's what it sounds like I'm doing.
Ordell, now that you're closer to them and recognize the full size and extent of this creature, specifically you, go ahead and roll me a history check.
Specifically me. Interesting. History is not my forte, I'm going to be honest, but that's still a 14.
You are from the mountains. You recognize a Kragum when you've seen one. Giant goats with horns as big as a dwarf. These things are dangerous. If you're fighting one alone and can't hold your own, they will knock you into the mountain and pulverize you into a paste in which they will then eat. Very lucky that they didn't get the jump on all of you.
I think this is where, for sake of flavor, Ordell earlier used his like memory thing. Ordell remembering this, again, like kind of spaces like catatonic staring, as he's like killing the creature, and his hand is starting to like shake violently, which then he just shakes his head and just like pushes the dagger in, and then just stops and goes to collect the horns of the other ones, like leaving the 2 there by the body.
As there is 1 Kragum corpse up there, you do get 2 pieces of broken off horn. These things are as strong as steel. You hit them very hard to crack them like this. They're about the size of a typical like blowing horn. You didn't knock the whole like conical shape of the horn off, but you could definitely craft some things with this if you'd like. So go ahead and add 2 Kragum horns to your inventory. And then there's a whole giant ram worth of meat.
How do we make this into food?
well,
Now that I have the horns, Ordell comes over.
the first step is you have to skin the animal. This is, for a creature this size, going to be an arduous process. So those daggers you have, you're going to go along.
And Ordell's going to open his book and kind of put it on the ground and show them like the lines they need to draw. And basically for the next like X bit, for sake of time, Ordell's going to walk them through skinning an animal, taking all the parts off and stuff, and like making sure he's heavily supervising both of them, because this may be the only food we find for a week or so. So like making sure like as much as possible.
We're going to take as much of the spine and things that are functional in case we need to make tools. But otherwise we leave most of the rib cage and whatnot.
Winter is gonna watch and sketch this. Are there any pages free in the journal that
Oh
I
yeah,
picked
it's
up
probably
that's
only
divided
about half full.
I'm going to turn to a blank page towards the back of that and start sketching, and then go and dip some of my pen into the blood and use that to like add some detail and kind of keep watching and paying close attention to the way that this is being performed.
Emma's walking back to the other 2 with the 2 bags of blood.
Oh, so Ordell went to go show them and realizes neither of them are like doing anything. So he's like, so he just continues to basically
Winter's
do this
learning.
himself.
I'm
Yeah.
watching very.
As
Emma
Ordell
can't
and
eat,
Winter,
therefore doesn't care.
right? As Ordell and Winter
While-
go about skinning this animal, I'm going to need a few checks. Ordell, if you're doing the skinning, I'm going to need a sleight of hand to see if you're able to retain some of the leather and hide, or if you're going to be able to just have to rip those up just to get to the meat.
Okay, sleight of hand is not my forte. 10 for sleight of hand.
10. Part of it is marred by the flame, and you don't have the skills to try and remove that. It
That's
could
fair.
even help in the tanning process. However, the other side of it, you are able to get what would be a regular sized amount of goat hide, but you can't.
I'm not
get a full
farming
Kragum ones.
inspiration at all.
Did you text
Is
your
it time to
wife?
come say hi? No. It's the daily come and visit daddy.
Ah, oh, he's so cute.
There you go. Hello, the
Well.
world.
Oh,
Yeah.
those cheeks.
Mwah. You had a good day.
He's
Sorry
a
to
cutie.
interrupt.
You know you get a point of
Oh wait,
inspo.
actually, I have inspo. Now that you pointed that out, I'm gonna use inspo for this.
Do it.
That's so much better. Thank God
Another
thank you for your
natural
gravy.
20, huh?
Yeah, not another natural 20, but it did go from a 10 to a 16. 14 plus 2.
That doesn't prove it. So you're actually able to get one whole half of this animal's side. You can't get it on the side where the flame went,
Wonderful.
but you get half of a Kragham's pelt or hide.
Okay. And Kragham is spelled Kragum or is it a C?
Gham.
Gham. Thank you. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna keep on. While Ordell does this, he's gonna look over because now Winter's the only one there.
I don't exactly remember, but I remember being on a mountainside like this. I don't know if I was an adult or a boy, but I remember someone showing me how to do this. This was a long time ago.
You're doing a very good job, and it looks like there's quite a lot of meat. There's only 2 of us, so this should last us quite a long time.
Hopefully.
Winter is very impressed
you.
as she writes in blood.
Not all of it in blood, just some.
Oh, a good mix in there.
Just
What do you sketch?
accents.
You
What do you
gather.
sketch in your book?
So
After you.
you gather a sizable 2 legs of this ram here that you could carry. You're starting to get a lot of things, and that wheeled cart-like thing is going to be something you're going to want here in the future, or some bag of holding-like
Yep.
thing to be able to carry them, because this thing is huge, and you're already carrying a sapling. So those 2 legs
I'm
is
not
probably
getting
all
any holding.
you could carry yourself.
Okay.
If other people want to try and carry stuff, then that's something that y'all need to make happen.
Winter, I would like you to help me make a decision. I have this sapling. It is very heavy. Do we leave the sapling and bring more meat? Because the sapling is more apples potentially in the future, but it's a long time. Or do you want to plant the sapling here on this cliff, where it will grow and someone else will reap from it?
Well, given the choice, I'll always pick dead. So let's take the dead thing with us and plant the alive thing here.
Then help me while I dig.
I'm gonna plant the tree with Winter.
You go up to the peak where you were, or where you saw the Kraghams, and find that there is a small area with dirt right on the outside of a cave where they must bed down for the night when it rains. It's enough for you to be able to plant it here, enough space to where it can probably grow to live a long and healthy life. As the 2 of you go up to the peak to pick out a spot and plant this thing here, you also can see over the mountain, now onto the other side of it and down onto the shore. It's about a mile or so down and out before you'd get to the shore, but you can see the sun beginning to set over on the side. It's still maybe 2 or 3 hours before its actual sunset, but you begin to see the sun set over this large body of water, which is this ocean here. With that, I need both of you to roll me a perception roll.
No. Just
So
Oh.
no. Inspiration though. What is
I will
it
use
again?
my second.
Invest-
It's perception. Based on Brie's face, I will use my last inspiration for this.
Yeah,
Ugh.
12.
Wow, dude, your 12 is looking real hot right now. That's a 3, total of a 7.
Beautiful. You
I'm
notice
lucky. I'm not.
you notice the shore seems to go inward, as there is some sort of cove inward from the mountain in the distance. But other than that, seems like it's going to be a fairly safe trip if you just want to go over this mountain rather than around it. But you also don't notice any sort of settlements down here. you're getting close to what is a peninsula here on this land. The southern tip of the mountain basically leads out to a peninsula here at the end of Old Cora.
I wonder how often boats come through here.
Probably not very often. This is not a well taken care of place. There's a reason this wall was considered punishment.
Hmm.
Why did you want to cross the wall, if you don't mind my asking?
I've heard amazing stories of the creatures and of the life or lack of life that exists here. And I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be.
Interesting. Or as we'd put earlier, strange.
Ordell smiles as he finishes planting the tree. I'm gonna take like the scraps from the goat and stuff and like bury it with the tree and stuff. Like whatever isn't salvageable, and then yeah, I'm gonna take whatever the weight of the tree was. I'm gonna take that extra and meat.
Okay. You can add a whole 4 legs now of this cragum.
Yep.
That should be enough for probably 2 weeks of food for Ashrin and Winter. As long as it stays good that long. Yeah, we're going to go back to Emma and XC and Ashrin now as Emma walks down the mountain, holding...
Emma's skipping down the mountain. Blood is absolutely covering like her arms as she comes down, and she gets to Ashrin and holds out a water skin that's also covered in blood to Ashrin. I got blood for your blood magic.
East.
Like I said, I was 90. I was about to go. Like I said, I don't know what you saw, but it was not blood magic.
Don't be ashamed of your magic.
I don't know what you're talking about. Do you hear that? East is calling.
And Emma's gonna like spray a little bit of blood on her hands. Blood magic. And then close the cap.
Unable to process, please explain blood magic.
See?
I'm gonna rub
I'm talking to Emma, not to Ashrin.
Again, Emma's like, see?
I'm gonna rub someone Emma's
Even
clothes.
it wants to know.
Clean my hand on your robe.
Ashrin, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh God. 12.
12. You rub right on Emma's clothes. You want to get this off your hand. Okay.
What do you refer to? Blood magic?
Magic done with blood. It's pretty easy.
Does magic affect the blood?
Does it?
Oh, it is like medic healing. Understood. It is to heal because biologicals have blood.
Yeah. And then she does lightning stuff when she gets blood. Right? Is that right?
What?
Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't know how blood magic works. You won't tell me.
I don't know if you're seeing it as a past life of mine where I did lightning or something, but I think you're wrong.
Oh, well. Blood magic.
Listen up,
I've got it when you need it.
I'm just gonna to mess with her. Listen up, Bone Queen. You don't know me, and you don't know what I'm capable of. So why don't you just take your blood and go east?
Tally ho.
I think this is a cue. Emerald Goldcrest to go into your ring. I pick up social cues and can assist anyone in the military.
I think you're right, and I think these bags of blood would be better off in there anyway.
Ashrin, you now feel the ring again quickly go cold on your finger as Emma slips inside. Ashrin, Exy, what are you two doing?
Well, that was interesting.
Ashrin, Emma, in your room, you do hear Ashrin whisper, and it kind of
Yeah.
shakes the building. Stay there. A few drinks get knocked off of the table. You can't drink it anyway, but the glass falls and lands on the carpet.
I just and Emma plops the blood bags down in there, which creates its own little like mess. Emma just starts using prestidigitation and just starts cleaning. Had this place all night.
I do believe sanity may not be permanent.
That's what I'm thinking.
As the two of you look upwards, you can now hear and see Ordell and Winter walking back down from the peak. Ordell holding two in each hand over his shoulder, raw, giant legs of ram.
Oh, I also took the horns off the dead Craigham because I got the other ones from the ground, right? So I have 4 individual horns now,
Roll me a
or
sleight of
2
hand.
full ones. Oh, right. Would it be sleight of hand? They're horns. They're heavy. Oh, okay. Never mind.
To make sure you don't
unnatural
just
20.
shatter them. Okay, yes, you do get 2 more horns, so you have 4 now.
Okay.
To make sure where
The
you
other
hit
2
them
that were
doesn't just turn
shattered are
into
smaller,
dust. No, these are all you're getting.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. As Ordell and Winter walk down, Winter with a bit of a smile and a pep in her step after getting to pat these goat-like creatures, now return. You notice that Emma is absent, but that's not terribly out of the ordinary since you see Emma go into the ring pretty often. The sun has a few more hours of daylight left. What are the 4 of you doing?
Is the Bone Queen back?
Oh, wrong hand.
Oh no.
Well, that's good. Are you getting on nicely?
Points to blood on hand. No. I shook my hand to see if it shakes the ring. What's inside?
You don't know if it has any effect or not. Emma, it makes you feel dizzy, though the ring itself doesn't shake the room around you. It's like
I wish I could show the picture of what the inside of the ring looks like soon enough, but it does have an emerald top to it, which is the top of the gemstone. So like very limited visibility out of there. Like it has to be like right near the ring. But yeah, no, you can just see it kind of like move around and it's just like
this is the equivalent of looking up at a skylight and watching the world spin and move very quickly. It's dizzying if you look at it for too long. As 4 of you now stand there, you can still hear that creature in the distance. It's very faint at this point, as it's now long past your vision, but you can hear it coming around the corner of the mountain. You could continue to head east. What are we doing?
I'll also let Winter know that we saw it pass by and what it looked like.
I'm sorry. A giant hand. A
Bone.
giant skeletal hand. And we're staying here now?
Well,
Yes,
wait,
you are biological. You need to rest.
I know, but I had like that big sleep earlier. There's lots of food. Why aren't we chasing the bone hand?
Exy spends the next 2 minutes trying to explain the concept of time in regards to there being hours in the day to Winter.
We found a cave up there that looks hospitable. It's a bit of a cliffside. We could rest there for the time being. I would like some time. Exy, I'll need your steady hand. We have about 4 weeks of rations, or 2 weeks, sorry. One of those weeks I'd like to cure and dry. So if we sit somewhere,
I'm going to show my grappling hook because I just realized I have a grappling hook, but I just used all of my rope on the well. So it's going to be used for curing meat, I guess, because it's now just a hook. But yeah.
This is when Emma pops back out of the ring, since no one asked. I can bring things in the ring with me, like I said about your tree that you were carrying earlier. But just throwing it out there.
When you
Can
bring them
you-
in, when you bring something into the ring, does it expire as normal? Or is it preserved?
We could see, and Emma pops back in, comes back out with an apple, and goes to hand out the apple, and the apple just like crumbles to dust. That was an old one, but it should be all right.
do you-
I'm going to cure it first, and then you can hold on to them.
um, can you lift this meat, Emma?
No.
That is why I will cure it into smaller pieces, of which you will be able to.
Um,
Can
Oh.
our medic not cure the meat?
Our medic cannot cure meat. Our medic is not a survivalist. Add survivalist to your roles. Our medic is specializing in healing and repair.
But hearing
And
is
injury.
curing.
I mean, curing meats. Let's walk and talk, Exy, and I'm going to explain curing meats and stuff and what that means to Exy, as I'm going to explain I'm going to get Exy to help me, because I'm assuming Exy has a steadier hand than I do, so for cutting portions.
Okay. Is that the
Sure.
plan? Because are we going to go see the thing that Winter wants to see, or are we going up to the cave to cure the meats?
Oh, Winter wants to see it? I thought Winter wanted us to leave here and not see it. I mean, if
No.
Winter's adamant and going to chase it, I mean,
no,
What?
No, the opposite, actually.
I would love to see the big bone hand. Yep.
What time of day is it, and how long has it been since it passed by us, Rebo?
It's maybe about 4 in the afternoon. It passed by about 2 hours or so ago.
Ooh. I mean, the tracks are gonna be there to follow. It's been about a couple hours.
You can still cure it.
Oh,
It is moving very slow. It should take you approximately 5 minutes to reach.
And
5
why
minutes?
exactly do we want to see this creature?
Have you ever
Unable
seen
to answer.
something with a giant bone hand?
No, but I don't feel like I would enjoy it.
kind of Winter's thing. That's all.
Since you
I'll go
helped
with
me
you.
get food, we will all go together. How about this? We're all out here. This is a terrible and awful place. Why don't we pick each day of the week, one of us gets to decide something that we do that day? This is your day, Winter. Is that
Oh.
a fair trade?
I'm very excited to see the bone hand.
I'm excited to see what the robot picks for their day.
Is it Wednesday?
It's Tuesday.
Oh,
You know what? For future, we'll let you pick on Wednesdays. You seem like someone who likes that day very specifically.
thank you.
Hmm.
Well, should we go now? Have we got time? It's only 5 minutes away.
The old
Why not?
me would have thrown GFYs out, but I've been to GFY management, and so
he's come out a less GF-wide man. Yeah, I mean, no time like the present. I mean, I'm not just gonna put our food on the ground though. So I'm gonna tell you, in combat right now, I'm staying at the back so I don't have to fight, because I need to do something with this food. But yeah, I'll come with.
Yeah. Well, if it's Tuesday, then maybe we should do something about the food first.
That does seem like a more important thing to do with people that need to eat, but I'm all for going to see the bony thing. I don't need to eat.
Let's see the bony thing. I'm sure it won't be. As long as we're smart and safe, we'll be fine.
Well, if everyone really wants to, we'll go see the bone thing.
That is not what I said.
as Winter begins to skip away off into the east, looking back like, come on then, as she waits for everybody. Is everybody going to see the bone thing?
Yeah.
Okay. You all
Affirmative.
traverse eastward and around this mountain. It does take you a bit of time to go around it, mostly just because you're on a slippery slope, quite literally here, as you're going around and trying to get to the southern side. Because you ran quickly from it before, you made a good bit of distance here, and slowly, as you come around the east side, it takes you about 10 minutes or so, you begin to hear the loud crunching get louder and louder, though still fairly faint and soft from where you're at, hearing as if somebody is doing like construction in the distance, right? That first or second step of the T-Rex. As you pass around, you're now on the southern side of the mountain, and you can begin to see, still further to the east, the peninsula tip, where this monster seems to be crawling its way towards, using the trees like one would use handholds on a rock wall. As you see the trees shake as it pulls itself forward. You're now above and behind it. You can't see it just yet, but if you wanted to try and go get into the forest and sneak up upon it, you might be able to.
Winter,
Yes,
after you.
going to be very sneaky now.
Okay.
And Ashrin, if things go wrong, we have blood now.
Face in Ashrin's face is just. I
XC.
take.
No, after you.
Affirmative.
You do your thing. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't want to
No.
interrupt you. Do.
Sorry, I just take Winter's hand and I keep going.
XC, if this thing is going to kill us, I want you to shoot me first.
Understood. I mean, damn it. I mean, understood.
Wait, when did you start cussing?
I do not understand the question.
You're saying as y'all are walking down the mountain.
Yeah, I squinted, XC.
As you're all trying to approach stealthily behind this thing to get a better look at it and play your own version of D&D Snap, everybody give me a stealth roll.
That's a pretty good way to put it.
Yo, that's fantastic.
Nice.
19.
19.
Dirty 20.
17.
I'm going to use another inspiration.
13, but Ordell's again staying far back because I don't have free hands to fight this thing and I'm not ruining our meat. So yeah, Ordell's gonna be like 50 feet so I could catch up in a turn like behind the party, but like yeah,
Winter?
I don't really care what this thing looks like.
16, but I'm just laughing at Odell like sneaking through the forest with like 4
Meat.
legs of meat.
I've got the meat.
As you all eventually get back down to the forest, you kind of slide down, causing a small little rock slide as you do so. Not enough to cause any alarm, but it just kind of as you get down to the base of the mountain. The trees now again half dead as you approach. You follow behind the wake of this creature. What you thought were just grooves and root structures within the forest here, you now recognize that this creature must make a path like this pretty often, as there's almost a ravine in which you can follow in the dirt, as if freshly tilled land has been pushed up and onto the sides. You could walk in the ravine, or you could stay on the what would be left side of it. Is everybody going to not be in the small little ravine, or are you going to stay up and above? It's maybe about 6 feet deep.
The easiest to see.
Staying up above.
I'll stay above.
Okay. As you all continue to follow this thing, the loud crunching of the bark in the trees gets louder before you can start to make out something. You see it briefly. It looks like a white tree moves momentarily before it escapes your vision, and that kind of excites you, Winter, and you move a little bit more quickly as all of you move upward, and you recognize this large round object that's maybe about as tall as you are, Winter, and as it moves out of view once again, it seems to be dragging it along, creating this ravine in the ground. Before you move a little closer, and it seems to be, now that you can get a better picture of it, this is not so much the base of a log, it is a spinal column of this creature. It seems to have no lower half as it's dragging itself through the ground. You could get closer if you'd like.
Do I know what this is at all? Have I got any idea of what it might be?
Not with just seeing the spine. You'd have to see a bit more of it.
I'm gonna keep going closer.
Okay. As you all keep approaching, eventually you see a second column, a third, a fourth, before you begin to see large shoulder bones of this creature, the backs of its ribs as it's pulling itself through the ground here. You start to see the back of a large skull, a crack going along the right side with a hole in the top. This thing is long dead. It is not recent. It has been dead for some time. You can see its arm pull itself through, and another arm seemingly clutching something next to its head. You can just see the top of it beneath its head. You'd have to get around to see a better look, but currently what you're seeing is the upper torso of a gargantuan being pulling itself through the forest.
Father?
All skeleton, no flesh to speak of.
Jeez. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's a one.
Oh.
Emma next to you. All of a sudden.
Hi. We're playing the quiet game right now.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. No rockets. No fire? Yeah? No. Mm.
Ruckus,
Oh.
do you want to play I Spy?
It makes no noise, but it'll look at you.
Ruckus, I spy a very, very big skeleton.
Shakes violently.
I spy a very quiet Ruckus.
Emma goes,
Ruckus looks up briefly before looking back. Very puppet-like. Kind of nods its head.
Ruckus, no!
You don't hear any noise, but Emma seems to be very concerned.
Winter's a little distracted, gonna pop out her sketchbook and start just sketching as quickly as possible, like kind of keeping one eye on Emma and Ruckus, but sketching exactly what she can see and excitedly adding notes and trying to think what this could be.
When Emma said the no, it was a very audible no as well.
Go ahead. I got the rule. Okay.
Yes.
It suddenly stops in its tracks.
What have you done, Ruckus?
It is so quiet, so still here in the forest.
I told you not to do that.
Are you being very audible as you talk to Ruckus?
Well, it's now at a whisper
Okay,
to
just making
Ruckus.
sure.
Just, I told you not to do that.
It sits there and it waits. What are you all doing?
Watching.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth roll, everybody.
What else still far behind? 6.
Oh.
I did mention that I'm 50 feet behind them, though.
I gotcha. Your DC is
Last-
different.
Last inspiration.
And rolled 2 3s.
2 3s from Emma, 6
18.
from Ordell, 18 from Winter. Ashton?
This is my fifth 19 I rolled of the night, so that's a 21.
Solid. XC.
17.
Dice.
17. As you'll sit there for a moment, it begins to turn before a bird flies off from a tree nearby and its head turns to the right. Before it continues to drag itself further along.
As it turns, do we get much of a view of its face?
You see just a bit the top part of its skull over its shoulder. It seems to have no eye in its right eye socket, but you also get to see a bit of what it's carrying. Seems to be almost like, for its size, a large staff. You can just see the top of it, but it's curled and gnarled like an oaken staff. But it's about the size of a tree.
I sketched that as well in as much detail as I can.
Okay. It continues to move on. Do you all follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You continue to follow slowly, carefully, for a few more minutes before you begin to hear the sound of waves. You follow it to the coastline. You're maybe 500-600 feet away from the shore. Large waves lap against this coast as it stops for a moment, as you can see over its shoulder a very large, fully dead tree. You begin to hear rattling of bones as it shakes its right hand. You can see the top of that staff begin to shake before suddenly the tree before it, Ashrin, just as you saw before, a bright green light envelops this tree from below as leaves begin to sprout all over from this tree as it begins to be full of life. After it's done, it shifts itself over to the side, slamming onto the ground, and begins to pull itself further downward into the last remaining parts of the forest.
Do I have any idea what kind of magic would be able to do this?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana for anybody proficient in it.
Yay!
I am not.
Hey, that's an 18.
23.
18 and 23. Emma, best you could describe, this would be druidic magic. Makes sense. You're seeing life in a natural sense. Winter, you know that this is some weird combination of druidic magic and necrotic, being that there is nothing for which the druidic magic can feed on here. It seems to be drawing this energy from somewhere else.
Don't know how this is possible. It seems like this creature is creating life from death.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, Rockets, at the end of the day, that's all death is. It's just new beginnings for life. Rockets, no.
But that's not really how magic works.
No.
Very curious.
As it crawls itself further as you discuss this, it seems to reach the end of the forest. As it pulls itself to the end, it kind of looks around from the trees. Now you're near a beach. In the least sense of the word, it's mostly rock, but there is sand here as well. It dips its right hand into the sand, picks it up, as if searching for something, before it grabs on with its left hand to a tree and begins to start turning around.
Hello.
What are you all doing?
I'm just gonna try and lay flat against the ground and keep watching.
Winter
I'm following
lays
whatever Winter's doing.
on the ground. Ashrin does the same. Emma, Ordell, XC.
Emma's gonna just kind of stand there as a skeleton. The skeleton friends.
XC, Ordell.
I'm
I'll be
still
standing
further.
next to it. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're both at the back, right? Because like, did XL? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Ordell seeing this, what happened? Ordell like kind of looks sexy.
I don't think combat will be required, so let's keep weapons low in case this takes us as a threat.
Analysis also. Low risk. Affirmative.
As
Yeah, we'll just kneel.
you kneel, okay? Emma stands there proud. Exie and Ordell kneel. Ashrin and Winter lay flat on the ground. This thing turns around using the tree to pull itself. As it does so, you get the first glimpse of the front side of this creature. The first thing you notice is its large skull has etched into the front of it a large cloud with a bolt of lightning. Anybody who is proficient in history can roll me a history check.
Yes.
Nat 20.
Hey, twins.
Hey, look at you two.
Are we like what is going on here?
Next week, all ones. So, you see the bolt of lightning in the cloud.
That's
you
28.
recognize 28. What was yours, Emma?
With history +4, so 24.
Oh, wow, way too low. You know nothing.
I know.
With
I
both
know.
of your nat 20s, seeing that symbol, you've read it in books, you've seen it before. The symbol of the storm giants. Somebody resurrected a storm giant.
Ruckus, that's a bad idea.
As it turns around, you not only see its face, you recognize the staff that it is carrying is, in fact, a tree, an entire tree hardened and gnarled into a large staff. Hanging off of this tree, tied to it through large bits of rope, are several rib cages that make that bone clanking sound. This thing also is wearing a necklace made of chain that holds a cage. Inside the cage on the necklace sits a young tiefling man. Battered, beaten, and scarred within the cage. You can see he is nothing but skin and bones. He looks like he hasn't eaten in weeks. You're not sure if he's had anything to drink in a long time. He sits there curled up in the fetal position inside the cage as it rattles as the great creature turns and it stops with no eyes in its great skull sockets and stares towards Emma. It pulls itself towards you, Ashrin, and Winter. Winter and Ashrin, roll me a stealth roll.
That's my 6th 19. Sorry.
Crap. 8 from Winter.
21.
What'd you say?
3.
Winter? Oh, better. It's so much better. Ashrin, you see the ravine to the right where it just came and quickly roll to the side to hide yourself down on the bottom. Winter, there's nowhere for you to roll. There's trees to the side of you. As this thing moves forward, you have no eyes for it to see where it's looking as it gets right in front of you, Emma. Its head as large as you are tall. Its mouth equally tall. Its jaw hangs on a hinge that kind of moves just barely freely as it now sits in front of you. It gets its head low down to the ground right in front of you.
Hello. Ruckus, don't be rude. Do you speak?
As
Do you?
you say hello, it pauses for a moment before looking down and seeing Winter. It takes its left hand out and reaches over to grab Winter.
Hello? Hello?
Does Winter resist?
I look
Okay.
to Odell.
Winter, you get picked up as well as a patch of dirt in your hand. It doesn't squeeze hard enough to hurt you. It's quite gentle as it lifts you from the ground. It holds you as it leans over next to Emma. It takes its right hand with the staff leaning up against its neck and points to Winter and then back at you, Emma.
Friends. Noticeably, if Winter's not freaking out internally, would notice that this little sock puppet is gone. Friends.
It looks back at Winter and then down at the cage on its neck.
No. That would be terrible. No. Keep the one you have. It's much better. It has horns.
I don't have any horns.
No horns.
Roll a persuasion, Emma.
Oh no. Persuasion +3. Hey, I'll take that. That's a 15, so an 18.
Winter, it looks at you, for it gently sets you back down onto the ground.
No horns.
Thank you.
For it takes its
See?
right fist and slams into the earth, seemingly angrily. Not near you, but just somewhere nearby. You can feel the earth shake beneath your feet.
Oh.
I raise my hand to like Exy because I know Exy probably has his gun drawn of just like, wait, we cannot shoot yet.
Do you want me to fix your creature? Pointing to the tiefling.
It looks down and covers the tiefling's cage with its hand as if possessively.
Is it bad?
Shakes its head.
It's good. I make it feel better?
It looks down at you and kind of turns its head as if quizzically to what you mean by that.
I use silent image to make a tiefling, a skinny tiefling man appear in front, and then I make him look plump and happy and healthy. And then I point back to me like, ah.
Roll a persuasion.
Oh, no. Okay, I got a 19 plus 3, so what, 22? Blood dice coming to save me.
It looks over and past the trees and seems to look directly at Ordell and XC. Before uninterested returns to you and takes the top of the cage, pops it off, sets it down, reaches its bony fingers in, and grabs the tiefling by the scruff of its shirt and sets it on the ground.
I use message by pointing at it, discreetly as I can. Would you like me to do a sleight of hand?
Do you want to be discreet about it? If so, then yes.
You know what? Actually, no, I'm just gonna outright say it to the tiefling. Are you okay?
It seems to be barely alive. It kind of turns.
Oh.
It looks up at you. Go. Get out of here. Dead walker. Get out of here. He looks over at Winter. It mouths the words "run" to you.
Okie dokie. Emma shows her hands to this undead storm giant and gently sets them out towards this tiefling, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. How many hit points are you healing?
Let's see. So 2d8 plus 4, so 7. Plus 5, so 12. Right?
12.
Did I do math right? Plus 4, so 16.
As you place your hands upon this creature, the skin and bones remain. However, you can see red begin to return to his face. His hair has a sheen to it once again. Its skin doesn't look quite so dry. It looks like he'll survive for a bit longer, as its eyes no longer bloody and red, look at you with that familiar shark-like blackness of a tiefling. As he looks up at you, he looks concerned more than appreciative. As the big creature,
As the big creature's going to pick it up, it gives you more time to escape.
reaches and grabs it by the shirt and plucks it and puts it back in the cage and grabs the lid, slams it shut, and kind of puts it on a force fit.
Emma looks to the side. Are you happy now you've seen the giant bone creature, Winter? Are you excited and happy?
I'm very excited and very happy.
Wonderful.
Can I discreetly point at the tiefling? I'm happy to roll sleight of hand and cast message.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleight of hand.
Fuck.
Oh.
3.
3. Okay.
3.
You
This is where we get a big cliffhanger.
forget that
Yep.
you don't have to say it out loud as you whisper, but what do you say?
Do you want to be alive?
The big
Oh no.
giant bone man turns and looks at you. You have no eyes, no facial features at which to garner this from, but purely from its stature, it kind of stands up as if asking, "Who are you to talk to my pet like this?" The tiefling replies in your mind, "No." Before, that seems like a good place to stop it for the night. It is 9:59. One more minute. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you enter your giveaway for the blind dice bag from the Lud folks. They look awesome right here. Still haven't pulled that rare one yet, they said, so make sure that you get a chance for that. And I hope that you all had a fantastic episode. I was wondering if you were going to go see Big Bone Guy, and I'm very excited that you did.
Have you met
You
Winter?
know.
This is really what
You know,
you
Winter
expect us
loves-
not to go.
Winter loves a big bone guy. You know that.
I knew Winter would go. However, Ashrin didn't know to say bone, and XE wasn't going to say anything.
Well, now that
Ah.
we've established before, we each get to pick what we do each day, so
We're just going to go on rotation. So Winter picked this time. So next turn, XC. Then it's going to go back to Ashrin, Emma, Ordell, Winter, XC, who leads the party. Oh, awesome. That
We know what
cliffhanger
we're
should be
doing.
illegal.
East.
East. Go east.
East.
Right.
East.
We'll go ahead and call it there. Oh, hey, it did get called there. Yarlowbeard has won the Glyphic Blind Bag
Woo,
2. Congratulations,
congratulations.
Yarlowbeard.
congratulations.
Congrats.
And with that,
You
I very-
get. Show us what you get.
yeah, please do
When you
send
get them.
pics. With that, I very much hope to see you all for the next week's episode where we continue to see what happens with the giant bone man and Winter's new friend.
Woo.
And we'll go from there. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Have a fantastic night.
Bye.
Bye.